Good evening from beautiful Phoenix College in Phoenix, Arizona. My name's Seth Askelson, along here with Adrian Palaio, and we are ready to broadcast the inaugural football game here on Gaucho's live stream. Adrian, how are you doing tonight?
You know, I'm doing good. I'm looking forward to some junior college football action. Football's back in the air, preseason in the NFL, but we're going to have some good football here for you tonight, as it is the Glendale Gauchos taking on the Bears of Phoenix College. The Bears of Phoenix College coming into this matchup off a 5-6 season last year, but definitely something to build off of. And Glendale coming into the season with a 4-6 record and with a group of quarterbacks to look out for, Seth. You know one of them personally. Who is that quarterback?
That quarterback's John Brown, former Apollo High School graduate, and he was on this team once in 2012. He's back again as a sophomore. This is a kid who got a lot of D1 offers while he was at Apollo. He can really move the play with his feet if he needs to, but he does have a good arm as well. So he's not a throwing running back, as some would like to say. He is a running quarterback. But they're also bringing back Akil Abdullah, who threw for 900 yards last year, and he played well. And so we'll see what he does. I talked to Coach Bell preseason before their first preseason scrimmage, and he said that he might run a 2-quarterback system. We'll see how that works. And so we also talked to Kyle Jones. He said that he's ready to go. He's coming off an ACL tear. He's going to be one of those outside linebackers to look for. Coach Bell also said his defense, his secondary and his linebackers are where it's at. He said that's the strength of the defense. That's where it's going to start. He's a little concerned about the depth on the defensive line, not so much the talent, but just the depth and inexperience. And so we'll see what the Gauchos do. Adrian, what are you looking for tonight out of both of these teams?
Well, we also spoke to Juan Rincon, linebacker for the Gauchos, earlier on this week, and he definitely said that he's looking forward to leading this defense to a victory here tonight. And not only the Gauchos do we have to look out for tonight, but also this Phoenix Bears team. Phoenix Bears team once again came in with a 5-6 record, and they're going to look for some magic from their quarterback. Number 8, Eric Kump, is their leading returner as far as the quarterbacks go. Threw a little bit last year, 81 completions over 159 attempts, 687 yards, 4 TDs, 6 interceptions, and they're definitely going to be looking for some magic from him. But not to be missed also is their star running back, Pavone Myers. Ran for 515 yards last year, and is definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with here tonight.
I think looking at the quarterback list for Eric Kump, I see 4 touchdowns and 6 interceptions, and he played in 10 games, so he played in as many games as Josh Eckley, who was the sophomore last year. I want to see if Kump turns the ball over. I want to see if this GCC defense can create some turnovers and get their offense going. And so what are you looking for at a GCC tonight?
What I'm looking for out of GCC is definitely the quarterback play. You know, we already mentioned it, the 2 quarterbacks that are going to be going in Abdullah and Brown. You know, Abdullah, very lanky kind of quarterback, you know, probably very fast, but didn't run all that much last year. You know, he ran the ball a couple times. He ran it for a total of 20 yards on 15 attempts, but it's going to be interesting to see how they play with both these quarterbacks.
Yeah, so we're about 2:43 away here from kickoff. Last year, GCC 4-6, Phoenix College 5-6. I know I talked to Coach Bell. He was saying that the team last year, they won the first 2 games, beating Phoenix College and Scottsdale. They lost the next 6, but they won their final 2. He was really impressed by their win at Eastern Arizona to finish the season, a team that is Division I NJCAA, that has full scholarships, that has dorms, so it's more of a NCAA feel to it. They went to Eastern Arizona. They won that football game. He's hoping they can carry the momentum over from that win. For GCC to start this game, what do they have to do in order to not fall behind?
What they need to do in order to not fall behind is exactly do that, not fall behind. You know, in this game of college football, it's very fast-paced, and if a team scores as quickly as they can, it can be very wary on a defense to get scored on that quickly and just get their momentum taken away from them like that. And speaking, of course, about defense, let's talk about these defenses a little bit, starting, of course, with our Glendale Gauchos. Number 44, John Rincon, mentioned him a little bit earlier coming into this game as the leader for the Gauchos defense. 63 tackles last year, as well as 3.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble. Also one to look out for, number 30, KJ Bynum. Last season had 46 tackles of his own, as well as Greg Garrett returning to the Gauchos once again, 36 tackles last year. And for the Bears, one to look out for them is former wideout Jarrell Green, their number 6. Caught a little bit for them last year as a wide receiver, but did most of his work as a defensive back, getting 6 interceptions for this Phoenix Bears team. And it's going to be very interesting to see how he copes with this 2-quarterback system from the Gauchos.
Yeah, and you have to remember, as a junior college, this isn't like an NCAA team where you have 80 guys eligible. You might have 60, 70 guys, and so some of these guys, depending on experience and depending on what they did in high school, they may have to play 2 positions. And this is only a 2-year school, so your veterans are guys who have only been in college for 1 year. And so, your best guys have been in the system 1 year, and if they got hurt or if they're redshirted, maybe 2 years. You're not bringing back any sort of senior who has been with the same offensive coordinator for 4 years and knows how to run an offense. And so that's the key, is to see what these freshmen do for each team.
And obviously the first game of the season for both these teams, they're going to look to get into it quick. They're going to be going as hard as they can. But you got to keep a little bit of an eye on their discipline a little bit. Might be some chippy action early on at the beginning of the season. They're all going to be very excited, and we're going to get to that when we come back from this quick break. The Gauchos taking on the Bears here from Phoenix College when we come back.
Welcome back to Phoenix College. My name is Seth Askelson, along with Adrian Palaio. Kicking off is Phoenix College. It's Bryce Redmond for the kick. Back to return for Glendale is Antoine Woodbury, number 3, and number 24, Blake Dawson. So here's the kick from Phoenix College, and we have the 2017 football season underway. And it is caught there by Blake at the 10-yard line. He goes right at the 20. He's at the 25, met by a pile of Phoenix College Bears, and he's dragged down to the 28-yard line of Glendale Community College, and that's where we'll start. Let's see who comes out for quarterback. If you have to make a quick prediction, who will it be?
I think I'm going to go with Abdullah. I'm not too sure. He has a little bit of experience with this program, but it's going to be interesting to see how they do play, Seth. And already we can see the Phoenix defense out there, and they do look rather physically imposing. And as we see the Glendale offense come out, it is, I believe, going to be...
It looks like it's
John Brown, exactly.
And number 8, yeah, they're going to go John Brown. It looks like they liked what they saw. Remember, he is an older guy. He has played, but he hasn't played a junior college football game in nearly 5 years.
John Brown out, single back formation for the Gauchos. 3 wideouts here. Snap is taken, handoff to the running back. It's met quickly by the Phoenix defense, and only a short gain on the play, and that'll bring up the second down.
Yeah, and that's a run right up the middle there. And, the Gauchos look like they're trying to get that running game early. Let's see what the first pass looks like from John Brown. Maybe a little early jitters, but now it's 2nd and 9. Ball at the 29. Brown in the shotgun. 1 guy to the right. 2 receivers to the right. 1 out too far out to the left. The shotgun snap almost over Brown's head. Brown's going to roll right away from the pressure, and now he's running. He breaks 1 tackle, tries to break another. He can't. Now he's down to the 34.
Good job by him getting out of that pocket, getting away from that. We had mentioned that earlier, that Abdullah, not running a lot last season, but we definitely saw it there, getting out of the pocket, getting a couple of yards for a quick 3rd down and 5 here for the Gauchos.
Now it's 3rd and 5. Everybody looking towards the sidelines. It's going to be John Brown back in the shotgun snap. It's going to be Rasheed Hodge to his left, or at least he's starting out to his left, depending on the play call. 13:45 left here in the first quarter. It's 3rd and 5. Ball in the 34.
The safety's playing in real tight. You got to wonder if there's a deep pass coming in here. Those cornerbacks playing tight as well.
They're bringing blitz.
Coming in from the right. It is a handoff.
Well, and
meant for just a short gain.
And Phoenix College read that well. Like you said, only a 2-yard gain. It's going to bring up 4th and 3. They had the linebackers and the safeties drop down into the box, and now it's 4th and 3, and the Gauchos' first offensive drive results in 7 yards and at least a punt for right now.
Yeah, it always looked like the Phoenix defense had that one covered, and you saw those safeties creeping in a little bit. They might have saw that one coming. So the first action here from the Gauchos, and we're going to see our first punt of the game.
Yeah, and the Gauchos, looks like Phoenix College is going to try to block it at least. Now their players back off. Here's the snap and the punt from Glendale's end, and it's up and deep. It's going to be fielded there by number 7, Terrell Green.
Hit on the far side.
And he gets rocked. What happened on that hit?
I believe that was number 82, Nick Henderson, just coming in with an absolutely crunching tackle. And now that is some well-needed momentum for the Gauchos defense coming into this first defensive drive.
And now Phoenix College setting up their offense and coming out onto the field to quarterback them. It looks like it's going to be Noah Grover, the 6'2 freshman at a Mountain Point High School.
We mentioned Eric Kump in the beginning, but obviously some very high roster turnover when it comes to JUCO. Let's see how Grover does early on here in this first game.
Well, and it's a Wildcat formation. It's going to be Donovan Daniels with the snap and the handoff the run right at the middle, more or less. And it's going to be for no gain. Now it's going to be 2nd and 10 on the 34. Interesting look by PC coming out in the Wildcat to start the football game.
It looks like Grover actually lines up as a wideout on the right side there, but now coming into a regular formation in the shotgun. One running back to his left as the snap is taken, handed off to the running back, number 4, and he's going to get forward, and that's going to be good for a first down.
Yeah, it's going to be first down for Phoenix College to the 45, and so first down play doesn't work, but that second down play is going to get them 11 yards and the first down going in the hurry-up offense for the Bears. It's going to be Grover's. Grover's going to take the shotgun snap, fake the handoff, throws left, and the catch and the tackle there. Great job by DJ Charles. He snuffs out that screen. That pass was to Matthew Mitchell, and it was snuffed out.
Yeah, Charles just reading that one the whole way. Little fake to number 4, Daniels. A little screen pass over to the left. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here. They got a big gain on that last play, but not up to snuff here as Grover back into the shotgun set.
And now Grover making a couple changes at the line at 2nd and 12 from his own 45. He takes a snap. It's another screen play, but this time they have blockers out in front, and bringing it up the field is Phoenix College, and good for another first down.
Yeah, Donovan Daniels just sneaking his way through those blockers and then finding some of his own, actually. Good 12-yard gain, I believe that was, and that's going to be a Phoenix first down. As Grover comes in, Daniels is going to be on his right side.
And now it's 1st and 10 again, like you said, Daniels on his right side. And here comes the shotgun snap to Grover. Grover pitches it out. Now Daniels, he goes right, gets through one hole, can't slip the tackler, and it's going to be Greg Garrett bringing up 2nd down. Adrian, what's GCC's defense need to do right now? They've given up a couple of big 2nd down plays.
Yeah, 2nd down definitely. Their first down plays have been, pretty good. Daniels definitely a danger out there. Grover had a quick pass. We have 2 wideouts out to the left here. Daniels to his left. Handoff is to Daniels as he makes his way over through the middle. Good for a gain of about 4 on the play.
Yeah, it's now going to bring up 3rd down, and GCC, their first 3rd down opportunity of the night. But Phoenix College is in Glendale territory at the 38. You can see a lot in college now, not a lot of huddles anymore, and both teams were running hurry-up offenses, at least in their first drive.
No, not exactly. And just like the Phoenix defense before, that Glendale defense really packed in, definitely expecting something from Daniels here. Pistol formation here from the Bears as Grover takes the snap. The handoff is to the running back and nearly taken down, but evades a good tackle there and making his way in, but it's still not going to be enough. No gain at the end of the place.
Well, and then a broken tackle right at the beginning is to spin off one, but the Gauchos, they loaded the box, and because they loaded the box, they had enough people. John Rincon with the credit for the tackle, and it looks like PC might be going for it here on 4th down.
Well, this is kind of, territory where if you punt it, you always run the risk of putting it into the end zone. They figure, it's only a difference about 15, 20 yards, so why not go for it? And that is actually number 28, Cameron Bryce, lining up on that left side, and it looks like they might actually be punting here. Quick little pooch punt over to the right side. not the best punts, and it is going to be fair caught at around the 23-yard line. So when we come back, Glendale's second offensive drive here from Phoenix College.
And welcome back to Gaucho's live stream, where it's the Phoenix College Bears 0 and your Glendale Gauchos 0. Back out for the second series for the Gauchos, only 7 yards on their first play, or on their first drive, and a punt. We'll see what John Brown can do. He's got a running back to his left, 2 receivers to his right, and 1 out to the left. He takes the snap, hands it off on the read, bring it up the middle for a few yards. There is going to be Dexter Carter. The helmet comes off of a Phoenix College player. Looks like one of the defensive linemen lost his helmet, Desmond Dean.
Yeah, and he's going to have to come out now for the next play. But yeah, Dexter Carter getting his first action of the game, and we're going to see what next comes from Brown on this second down and around 6.
Second down and 6 now for John Brown. Carter to his right, 2 receivers out to the left, 1 to the right.
Spider left.
And now they're going to switch to the left side, at least Carter is going to, and the snap to John Brown. He's going to fake the handoff. He's met there, but evades a sack, and evades another one, and now he's going to go out to the left. Brown at the 35 to the 40 and pushed out around the 41. That's where it's going to be marked.
Yeah, just a great job by Brown of evading those tackles again, and finding a little hole out to the left-hand side and getting a first down for the Gauchos. Much needed offensive prowess here from John Brown early on in this first quarter.
Yeah, John Brown, he's dropped back to pass twice. 0 pass attempts. He's gotten out of there quick enough, and so now it's going to be first down. The first down for this Glendale offense, looking a little better than what it was the first drive. It's 1st and 10. Brown's going to take the shotgun snap. Hands off again to Carter. Carter's met immediately, and he's able to gain a yard. They're going to give him the 42. It'll bring up 2nd and 9. GCC's offense, they were able to get 4 yards on the first play and get that first down. Now they have 1. I know coaches always talk about staying on time. What do you do to make sure you're not in a 3rd and long situation here?
Yeah, a little bit of a no huddle here, and you almost wonder if you slow down a little bit once it gets to a 3rd and long situation. But obviously these coaches know what they're doing. John Brown now under center, 1 running back, 2 about 5 yards behind him, 2 wide receivers out to the right.
And there's the handoff to Brown. Hands it off. It's a counter play, and he's going to go right, and that's Carter. He gets dragged down at the 45, and so it's going to be a 3rd and 6, a 3-yard gain. And up here, it looks like, when these guys run, they give a lot of effort and maybe gain a lot of yards, but when you really look at the final spot, he only gained 3. It seems like a lot of effort for only 3 yards.
Those are a lot of big boys over there on the defensive line for the Bears. Not a lot of room being made there, and it's going to be tough to get something through there, and it's all going to be down to Brown right now as he comes under center, fullback behind him, as well as a running back set. 1 wide out to the left.
Yeah, I formation for Brown. He's going to hand it off to the left. It's Carter. Carter's going to not evade a tackle, and he gets tripped up by the Phoenix College Bears defensive line. And that's going to be the end of the drive, at least for now. We'll see if they bring out the punt team. The tackle given to Jacob Hernandez by the PA system, and so it's going to be 4th and 6, and the Gauchos are going to bring out the punt team.
Yeah, a little bit of magic there from John Brown on that quarterback sneak, but ultimately the Phoenix defense proves too strong, and second punt of the game here for the Gauchos.
Yeah, it's going to be the second punt for the Gauchos. They're at their own 46-yard line, maybe flipping the field a little more this time around. And here's the snap for the Gauchos, and the punt is away.
That is a nice punt.
It's going to be fielded at the, not fielded actually, it bounced at the 19 and then picked up by Jarrell Green, and Green's going to run himself backwards. He's going to get himself back to where he picked it up at the 17.
Yeah, questionable by Jarrell Green. They had a couple GCC defenders coming in at him real hot, and so last second just deciding to pick up the ball and run with it. About 6.5 minutes left to go here in this first quarter as the Phoenix Bears will come out for their, I believe, 3rd offensive try of the game.
It's going to be their 2nd drive, and coming back out onto the field as the quarterback is Noah Grover. He's actually a freshman. We talked about early, before the game started, Eric Crump was their most experienced passer, but it's going to be Grover on 1st and 10. He's going to hand it off, and it's going to be to the left side, and Phoenix College, the running back's going to get dragged down there at the 22. It's going to be 2nd and 6.
Yeah, just evading those tackles, proving himself to be very strong, getting himself a nice 5-yard gain. If that's what you can get out of your running back, a nice 5 yards every single time, you'll take that every single day. I don't believe that the quarterback Grover has had to make a pass other than the screen that we saw earlier, as there's a toss out to the right side. Flag down on the field, might be a holding call against Phoenix, and we're going to see what the call is set.
Well, and it was a huge hit, too, on the left side by the GCC defense. And there was Kiddo Watson with a good tackle. Yep, and it's going to be a holding on the offense, and it's going to be number 77, Uriah Metter. Actually, the tackle for the Gauchos was number 30, KJ Bynum. I credit it to Phoenix College, number 30, Kiddo Watson, who's listed as a running back.
Yeah, it's definitely not what you need early on in this game. You get a good 5 yards on your first down play, then a quick holding call, and all of a sudden it's 2nd and 15 now, really deep into your own territory.
And here's the snap to Grover. Grover looks to the right side. He throws it away, and it is dropped. And great coverage there by the Gauchos defense. Tristan Decker there on the coverage. The pass was to number 16, Matthew Mitchell. And Grover's got to be careful. He looked the right side the entire time, and the defender was there to bring him down. That could have been an interception if he keeps looking down his receivers like that.
Yeah, you always kind of had a feeling that he was going that way. Immediately looked over to his left as he takes the snap from the shotgun. Looking immediately there as a man wide open, making the catch, but then a big hit from the Gauchos defender, and the ball flies about 5 yards to the east.
Yeah, and that was a jarring hit. That was a huge hit on Nate Hollins, number 3. He caught that ball. That was a seam route, and he got that ball out of his hands quick. Grover did, because he saw him open, and the second he made that catch, he gets absolutely smoked for the incomplete.
And what a huge defensive play, too. That ball's caught. That is a first down, but all of a sudden you have Phoenix punting from about their own, about their own 14-yard line?
Yeah, that's where the snap is, but the punter is 1 yard in the end zone. And so we'll see if the Gauchos bring it. They do, but the punt gets away, and it's going to be fielded by the Gauchos. That's number 22, Tristan Decker. Decker's going to get out to the 44 after a couple of moves. And the Gauchos, for the first time this game, are in Phoenix College territory, and that's where they're going to start.
Yeah, always a good thing to do when you have it in your opponent's territory. And when we come back, we'll see the Gauchos with their third attempts on the ball.
Welcome back to Gauchos Live Stream, first Gauchos football game of the season. The first 2 offensive drives were unsuccessful scoring-wise, and now it's going to be 1st and 10 for John Brown. He's going to go under center in a single back formation. One receiver to the left, one to the right. He's going to hand off to his left side. Cutting to the 40, to the 37 of Phoenix College is Gregory Scott. And the Gauchos, like we said, the first time in Phoenix College territory, and they get a good first run on first down.
Yeah, we still have yet to see the arm of John Brown, and he hasn't really needed it per se. Running the ball really well is Glendale. And, in enemy territory right now, you really got to get something out of this, whether it be 3 or 7 points.
So now it's 2nd and 3 for the Gauchos. Ball on the Phoenix College 38-yard line. Brown in the shotgun, 2 receivers to his right. He's got a running back as well. The running back is Gregory Scott. Scott's going to take the handoff. Tries to go up the middle. He's going to bounce right. Now Scott to the 35, to the 30, to the 25. He's going to try to get around 2 tacklers. He can't. He keeps moving the pile, and he's going to get dropped at the 24-yard line. What a run there by Gregory Scott. It looked like he was going to get caught in the middle. He bounces it to the right and picks up 15 yards.
Yeah, he intended to go to his left, saw nothing going, and then just bounced out to the right-hand side and gained a sizable lead there for the Gauchos, and all of a sudden it's 1st and 10 deep into Phoenix territory.
Yeah, and the Gauchos have run the ball very successfully. Not a pass attempt yet, and we'll see if they need to pass. Like you said, it hasn't really been necessary for John Brown to throw. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? And now it's first down.
But Phoenix knows that. And here we go, running into the middle once again for a good gain of about 4 on the play. And that is Scott on the 4-yard gain. That'll bring up a second down and 6 now. Brown looking over to his bench. And once again, not a pass being thrown here by Brown. And the defense has to be wary of that. Play action can always be a factor in this.
And a good heads up by our spotter. It's actually Akil Abdullah out there, number 5. I didn't see that. And now Abdullah's going to take the snap. He's going to fake the run. Now he's going to go left.
Yes.
He's going to go. He's at the 15. Gets by 2 tacklers and then is finally dragged down at the 11. And a good job by our spotter there. Andrew Bell is also keeping stats, pointing out Abdullah. The way they started and the way we were at, we couldn't see the number. He was a very good spotter to point out that it's actually Akil Abdullah out there. And so now
5 and 8 are very similar numbers when it comes to the way that they look. But Abdullah out there doing a good job of getting out to the left-hand side, getting a first down for these Gauchos. And all of a sudden, they're really deep in Phoenix territory as a running back to his right, Abdullah, 2 wideouts to the right. And it is a handoff and met quickly by the Phoenix defense, but evades the tackle and gets a good gain on the play, about 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah, and Scott got out of a tackle and was able to go forward maybe another 2 yards. It looks like they're going to spot him at the 9 for a 2nd and 7. And the Gauchos right now running the ball, haven't thrown a pass yet, as we've seen, and they've been very creative in their runs too. They've got Brown running, they've got Abdullah running on a read option, they've thrown in a sprinkle of running backs, and so it's not just one guy they're handing the ball off to.
And watch out, we got a tall wide receiver for the Gauchos on that left-hand side. Maybe a quick throw. No one's expecting it on the Phoenix defense as play action here. Actually, no, it is handed off to the right-hand side, and getting close to the goal line is the running back, taken down at around the 1-yard line.
Yeah, it was Scott. He got to the right side, broke a tackle, and then got dragged down at the 1-yard line. And so we'll see what the Gauchos do. It's first and goal on the 1, and as we've seen before in college football, or football in general, when you get to the 1, there's not a lot of room to pass, and the defense is expecting run. So let's expect to see a loaded box with man-to-man coverage here. And the Gauchos, it looks like they're going to get into the I formation under center. I would assume they're going to run, as we've seen that all drive. Here's the snap. He's going to hand it off to the left, and there's a fumble, and I believe Scott jumps on top of it. He does, and Abdullah slipped on his center maybe.
I think the ball just slipped out of his fingers, Seth. I think it just slipped out of his fingers, but luckily enough for the Gauchos, they're able to recover. And I believe, is that Smith coming back out, or is that Abdullah?
Well, it's Abdullah, looks like, who's still out there.
Yeah.
Abdullah looks towards the sideline for the play. He's going to
sizable loss on the play.
Yeah, and the ball now at the 8-yard line, and they were at their 1. I mean, it gives them a little more room to pass if they want.
A lot of space on that left-hand side for those 2 wideouts.
Yeah,
there hasn't been a pass thrown, but if they're going to do it right here, a little quick fade route to that tall wide receiver, as it is a hand-up. No, it's fumbled again. Play action, but it is fumbled once again. And luckily enough, Abdullah able to get on top of it again. 2 straight plays, 2 straight fumble set.
And Abdullah, he's not holding that ball very well when he's handing it off. He's kind of holding it high, and the ball isn't like dropping on the ground either. It is bouncing like a volleyball on that field. And I would be interested to see if Abdullah comes back out for the next drive after those last 2. So after getting it down to the 1 at first and goal, the Gauchos have lost 13 yards, and now are 3rd and goal at the Phoenix College 14-yard line.
Yeah, at the 14-yard line, if you're not going to pass, you almost wonder if you want to get your running back to, at least run to the left a little bit to get a good lineup for your kicker if you're going to be kicking here. Shotgun formation here, and this is the first pass attempt of the game, and it is completed and taken down at around the 10-yard line. And that is going to be 4th down, and it looks like the kicking formation is coming out, Seth.
Yeah, and it's going to be the kicking team for Glendale. It's on the positive side, you're getting a chance to score first. Like you said, you want to score first, but you also had first and goal at the 1, and instead of scoring a touchdown, you lost 13 yards. You got 3 of them back, but you lost 9 yards after getting to first and goal at the 1, and Scott was right there on that run to get it down to the 1. And so here's the kick now from the Gauchos. It's going to be number 49, Dino Pervis. And Pervis gets it blocked. It's a low line drop. And Phoenix College, they can't pick it up. and now it's going to be picked up. And Phoenix College, Jarrell Green tried to pick it up, and just like a shortstop on a ground ball, it gets right through his legs. He can't pick it up, but Phoenix College is still going to take control at their own 30, and the Gauchos first and goal at their own at Phoenix College's 1 yard line. Instead of scoring a touchdown, it's a blocked field goal, and that's got to be very disappointing.
Just imagine being a kicker, getting your first action of the season, and seeing that Phoenix defense coming at you with all kinds of blazing speed. Purvis, the Gaucho kicker, 28-yard field goal that was going to be, and unfortunately it just gets blocked. And you got to wonder, the next time he gets out there, is he going to be a little bit shell-shocked?
Well, and the kicker was Dino Perviz from Moon Valley High School, 6-foot freshman, and so that's your first kicking attempt as a college. And Phoenix College runs their quarterback outside to the left, and now it's a handoff up the middle for a first down run of about 4.
Yeah, and once again, Daniels in that Wildcat formation trying to catch the Gauchos off guard a little bit. Usually in the Wildcat formation, you see something like Daniels throwing it out to Grover on that left side, and then Grover tossing a big one over. And that is going to be interesting to see as we go into the second quarter of this one. No score. We've had a lot of action, though. 2 fumbles, a blocked kick, and there's going to be a lot more to go into the second quarter, Seth.
Yeah, there will be, and we'll be back here on Gauchos live stream. The Gauchos 0, the Bears 0, live from Phoenix College. We'll be back. Well, welcome back to Phoenix College. It's 2nd and 7 for the Bears. A snap and then a screen to the right side, and the Gauchos defense is going to be right there. The first one there, it looks like for the Gauchos was Brandon Lewis. Yeah, Brandon Lewis was there to make the tackle on Nate Hollins, and it's going to bring up another 3rd down for the Gauchos defense.
Quick throw out to that left-hand side. Hollins able to catch it, get a little game there, but all of a sudden it's a 3rd and 6 now, and you got to wonder if Grover's going to be passing here. 3 wideouts here, 1 running back to his left. Almost looked like it might have been a false start. Quick screen pass over to the left side, and he has all the space to go, does Hollins. And he is going to have a first down and a lot more. And that was Cameron Bryce, number 28, on the quick screen pass set.
Yeah, and what a run. And a talk there by Devontae Loggins, and that's got to be disheartening for that defense on 3rd down. They can't stop them, and they have to be back out there for at least another 3 downs. And so it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Bears in Gauchos territory at the 49-yard line. 2 wide receivers to the left, 1 wide receiver to the left, 3 to the right, and the shotgun snap, another screen pass, and it's this time to number 16, Matthew Mitchell, and Mitchell's going to get outside for about 5 yards. Phoenix College, they're not really throwing the ball up the field. Like we saw, they threw that 1 seam pass, and the receiver got rocked. Outside of that, it's been throws to the left side.
And those wide receivers are doing a good job of getting out in front and getting those blocked. These 5-yard gains are definitely going to take their toll out on the defense. You can get big gains all you want, but these little gains are taking its toll on this Gauchos defense. As you can see, they're just gassed right now as that run out to the left-hand side, another sizable gain, and that's a first down for the Phoenix Bears.
Yeah, and it's Mitchell again one more time to the left side. And when you see a lot of the tackles for Glendale Community College, it's none of the linemen or not really any of the linebackers. It's those guys in the secondary who are coming down to make those tackles. And it might be that they're not fast enough to get there. It might be that they're gassed. I think we'll see as the game goes further along, as it's now 1st and 10. at the Gauchos 45-yard line. The shotgun snap and the handoff for Phoenix College to the right for Daniel Irvin. He's going to get tackled after about 2 yards, and that's going to bring up second down.
They have the run defense, caught up a little bit. But, what I'm seeing a lot, that Gauchos defense, I'm not seeing a lot of substitutions, but I'm seeing a lot of substitutions from this Phoenix offense. So you're automatically getting fresh players in there almost every single play.
Well, like we talked about, Coach Bell was worried about the depth on his defensive line, and it might be taking a toll. Not a lot of substitutions in that defensive line, and it's a little younger. And it's a pistol formation, and the handoff to the right side now. It's actually play action.
Wide open.
And there's a guy wide open, and instead he's going to take it. Grover's going to slide down, take a couple hits after it, and there's going to be a flag.
Yeah, that's going to be a late hit on the Phoenix quarterback. Grover had someone wide open in the end zone, wasn't able to see it, and just elected to take it himself. But in the end, he's going to get 15 yards out of it anyways.
Yeah, and there was a guy down the left-hand side, even more wide open than in the end zone, and the Gauchos defense, they saw Grover start to move forward, and then they stepped forward to make the tackle. But like you said, it's going to be an extra 15 anyways. And that's going to be hard for that Gauchos defense. They had him wrapped up, not necessarily for a loss, but they were going to tackle him. And no more Laurel was one of those guys in to dive on top of the quarterback. And so it was going to be a first and 10 anyways, but instead it's going to be 1st and 10 at about the Gauchos 13-yard line. And so let's see what this Gauchos defense does backed up against the wall.
Yeah, and that Gauchos offense was not able to convert on that field goal at the end of the first quarter, and all of a sudden Phoenix can be the first ones to score here as running back in motion. It is going to go to him on that right side, evades the tackle, and the Gauchos defense quick to swarm on him. And now a little bit of extracurricular activity going on, and it is quickly dispersed. As a little bit of a loss on the play, I believe, or no gain.
Yeah, and the throw out to Donovan Daniels, and he caught it, and there was a Gauchos defensive back who literally blew up the wide receiver that was trying to block on the outside of Phoenix College. He runs right through him and holds up Daniels so the rest of his teammates can swarm and bring him down. It's now 2nd and 11. Snap
running
to
back on the right side, wide open.
And the throw there from Phoenix College's quarterback, Grover, out to the left side, and it's going to be 3rd down and about 6.
And you mentioned this earlier, but Grover, it doesn't look like he's really moving his feet all that much. He had a running back, I should say, open in the flat by a mile, and just not using his vision that well. He's looking to his first option, but not quickly looking to his second option, and that could hamper him later on in the game if the Gaucho defense can pick up on his eyes.
Yeah, and so now it's 3rd down and 8, ball at the Gaucho 11. Phoenix College drove down the field here after picking up a blocked field goal, and the Gauchos, if they can get one stop here, maybe they get their chance to block a field goal. It's a shotgun snap, rolling out to the right is Grover, and it's caught and falling down near the 1st down marker, actually a yard pass, and it's going to be a 1st down. Donovan Daniels with the catch, and he goes down for the 1st down. Now it's 1st and goal at the 3. Let's see if Glendale Community College can give PC a little of their own medicine on this drive.
Yeah, we're just seeing a little bit of fatigue here from this GCC defense. Once again, not a lot of substitutions going in and out, and all of a sudden this Phoenix offense has it deep in Gaucho territory, and it looks like there's going to be under center is Grover as the handoff is to the right side. He has space to go, and he is going to get it into the end zone for a touchdown.
Yeah, it's going to be a touchdown run to the right-hand side in the Gauchos defense. That has to be disheartening as the Gauchos, like we talked about, 1st and goal at the 1. Instead, they lose 9 yards, get a field goal block, and PC goes right down the field and scores to make it 6-0 at the moment, running out the point-after unit to try to make it 7-0.
Yeah, in this game of football, momentum is everything. You go from being 1st and goal on the 1 to now giving up a touchdown very early in the 2nd quarter as the PAT formation is out.
It's going to be Bryce Redmond, the kickoff man.
They're on the line, no flags, and the PAT is up, and it is good. So early on here in the 2nd quarter, 7-0 is the score. Phoenix in the lead, and when we come back, we're going to see if the Gauchos can respond here on the Gauchos live stream network.
Welcome back to the Gaucho live stream network. Phoenix College, 11 plays, 70 yards, 4 minutes and 32 seconds for the Bears. The scoring drive to take the 7-0 lead. Kicking off now for Phoenix College is going to be their
97 Bryce Redmond, the punter/kicker here for the Bears. Back deep to return Antoine Woodbury for the Gauchos. And 7-0 here, the score from Phoenix, Arizona, as it is up and away from the Phoenix kicker. And he's going to be taken here by Woodbury, getting out to that right side. He has a blocker, he has a hole! He's getting out to the right side. The 50, 45, 40, and taken down finally out around the 37-yard line. Great job finding a hole by Woodbury, just getting out. And we talked about momentum earlier, and what a big momentum boost that is for the Gauchos offense.
Yeah, and Woodbury, now for the second time, the Gauchos are going to start a drive in Phoenix College territory. Isaiah Butler was in there to drag him down along with the kicker Redmond. And so I would say that Butler did most of the work on that tackle there. And so the Gauchos starting at the 38-yard line of the Bears. Coming out at quarterback is Abdullah again. He fumbled the ball twice on the last drive with first and goal. And now we'll see if the Gauchos can answer back and maybe swing the momentum a little bit more their way after that kick return. Here's the shotgun snap. He's going to roll out to his left. Abdullah turns, throws over the head of his intended receiver. That's going to be Tyler Graham. And it will be 2nd down and 10 from the 38.
Yeah, that Phoenix defensive line just getting to him really quickly. He's forced to make a quick decision, and unfortunately the receiver just wasn't ready for the pass. 2nd down and 10 here, and Abdullah, we got to see what's going on with him. You know, he had those 2 fumbles. You got to wonder what's going on in his mindset.
Yeah, Abdullah, I think I wonder if he's a little shaken by that. He rolled out and he had to throw across his body, and that's a difficult throw for anybody, even guys in the NFL. Has used a shotgun snap, quick throw out to the right side, and it is caught there, running up the right side and finally dragged down, actually pushed down to the ground by his offensive lineman, Kent Cullenber. A good throw and run there by Sinclair Fahrenholt.
Yeah, about a good 4 yards, was just being pushed by his blockers there. You know, he caught it, did well to evade some tackles there, but just getting pushed there by his blockers. And it's going to be a 1st down here for the Gauchos as Abdullah coming on the shotgun. And something to notice, those fumbles were when he was under center. So very interesting to notice that he's in the shotgun as the handoff is up the middle and being brought down after only a short gain on the play, as the runner was number 4, Rashid Hodge.
Yeah, now it's 2nd down and 10, and the ball is on the Phoenix College 25-yard line. Abdullah in the shotgun snap. He's got a running back to his left, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right,
3 to the left,
and 3 to the left. Here's the handoff up the middle, and running the ball there is Rashid Hodge, and Hodge gets down to the 15. That should be good enough for another Gauchos 1st down. They're going to mark him at the 14, actually. And so the Gauchos driving one more time. Let's see if they can actually convert this time.
Yeah, I just saw a little hole there on that right-hand side. Got a quick little spin move in there. And all of a sudden, a 1st down for the Gauchos. Here we go again in the red zone. You know what happened last time, though. You got to make sure that ball security is really good from everyone on this Gauchos offense.
Yep, now it's 1st down and 10. Ball on the Phoenix College 14-yard line. Abdul in the shotgun. He gets the snap. Hands off the middle and dragged down by the front of his jersey. It looked like it was Brian Smith Jr. Actually, it was Rashid Hodge. And he was dragged down by the front of his jersey. No horse collar. Yeah, I guess the horse collar is a little more on the back, but he was still dragged down by his front breastplate. And so now it's going to be 2nd down and 10, and Hodge is going to come off the field. Replacing him in the shotgun is Dexter Carter.
Dexter Carter there on his left-hand side. 3 wide receivers. We have someone moving over to the right-hand side. Dexter moves over to the left. Abdullah to take the snap. Quick out to the left-hand side. It is caught, but it is going to end up being for a loss on the play.
That'll be Brian Smith Jr. with the catch. He was better off just letting that ball go behind him. I know when you're a receiver, you don't necessarily know where you are when you go to catch a ball and you want to catch everything, but
yeah, that was scary from Abdullah. It was just barely a forward pass, too. You got to make sure you get that a little bit forward. You don't want to risk having another fumble once again, as from the snap is Abdullah. Handoff. And taking it over to the left-hand side is Dexter Carter, and he gets about a 2-yard gain or 4-yard gain on the play. And that is going to be a 4th down now, and the kicking formation going to come out again.
Yeah, and let's see this time. The last kick there from the kicker was a little low. It was Dino Purvis, and Purvis is going to come out and kick. His kick was really low last time, and that's really why it was blocked him. And so we'll see. It's from the 16-yard line is the snap. It's going to be about a 30-yard field goal. Here's the snap. Ball down. Kick is up and blocked again. He kicks it too low, and it's picked up by Glendale, but it's not going to matter because it's going to be turned over at the 33.
Yeah, that offensive line for the special teams unit of GCC just has to be better in protecting that kicker. You can't let them get there that early. And for the second time today, a block punt, and Phoenix is going to take over when we come back. The second block punt of the afternoon.
Welcome back to the Gauchos live stream. Seth Askelson along with Adrian Palaio. 7:59 left here in the second quarter. Phoenix College 7, Glendale 0. And Phoenix College now in the shotgun formation led by Noah Grover. Grover's going to take the snap. Looks, hands it off, up the middle there into the right side, and he's out in the open field. That is Isaiah Butler. No, that is not Isaiah Butler. That is Donovan Daniels, and he's going to get a great run. There's actually a penalty after we went off the air, probably a taunting penalty, and Phoenix College started at their own 12, and now they've moved the ball out to their own 23-yard line for a 1st and 10. 1st and 10 now from the 23-yard line. It's going to be Grover in the shotgun. Grover fakes the handoff, throws right, and it's almost intercepted. It was Drury Jackson. He read that screen like a book, and unfortunately he dropped it. That would have been pretty much a pick six if he holds on.
And that's about the 6 or 7 screen pass we've seen from Grover today. And yeah, the defensive back of the Gauchos just read it, like he said, like a book. And that was nearly a pick six right there. And you got to wonder if Grover is going to be a little reluctant to throw those screen passes now. Maybe look at that second option. Like I said, he's got to look at that second option. He threw that almost on instinct, and it nearly got picked off as Grover from the shotgun. He has a man deep and looking to throw it deep, but it was well covered down the field, and he is going to be taken down for about a 4-yard loss on the play.
And a good sack there. They're going to give the sack to Kyle Jones, who's come back from an ACL tear in his right knee. Picks up a sack in the first game of the season. We talked to him after one of the preseason practices, and he said he was very excited to get things going. And now he's got his defense in a 3rd and 13 situation. And now it's going to be a shotgun snap again to Grover. Grover takes it, rolls to his right, looks, misses it for the second. Oh, Jones again! There's a fumble! And it's picked up, and that's going to be a Gauchos touchdown! Touchdown, Glendale! It's going to be Greg Gale with the pickup. Kyle Jones rocks Grover. Second sack of the drive, second sack in a row, picked up by Greg Garrett, and the touchdown for the Gauchos. The offense wasn't successful in scoring the last 2 drives, so the defense says, let's do it ourselves, and they've got the Gauchos within 1.
Yeah, just a big defensive blitz from that left-hand side. Someone got to the back of him. He was able to evade the first one, but not the second one. Didn't see it coming, and eventually fumbled the ball. And like you said, Garrett just picking it up and taking it to the house as the extra point is good. And all of a sudden, the Gauchos are back in this one, tied up at 7. And what a defensive play from the Gauchos. And when we come back, it is a tie ball game, and Phoenix will have their own chance to redeem themselves after that fumble taken to the house when we come back on the Gauchos Live Stream Network.
Welcome back to Phoenix College. It is 7-7 for the Gauchos. Well, tie game, but the Gauchos got themselves back into it. Kicking off now is Dino Purvis. And Purvis had 2 field goals blocked. He knocked an extra point through. Let's see how deep he can get this kick. He kicks it off from the 35. It's going to be caught there at the 7, and now running it up the right side for Phoenix College. And now he bounces it out to the right side. He's going to get around everybody. It's Sherrell Green. Green's going to get pushed out of bounds finally.
He got pushed out of bounds by Purvis, the kicker, just getting pushed out of bounds. Immediately had a hole on that right-hand side. It looked like the Gauchos kicking team all just kind of submerged into the middle almost, and that hole on the right was right there for the taking, and once again going to be taken into Gaucho territory by this returning team.
Yeah, it's Jarrell Green with the return. It's going to be 1st and 10 now. Ball on the 48 of Glendale, and Phoenix College now is going to get their chance to get themselves back into it, starting in Glendale territory. But 2 sacks in a row leads to a fumble recovery for a touchdown, and Glendale's offense has still scored 0 points, but the Gauchos are still tied in this game 7-7.
And we talked about the Glendale defense getting a little tired as the snap is taken. It's going to be kept by the quarterback, and he's going to be taken after a gain of 6. Donovan Daniels actually on the Wildcat keeping that one. But we talked about the GCC defense getting a little bit tired. They scored that touchdown, but they immediately have to come back out onto the field, Seth.
Yeah, and they do, and they were only out there for 3 plays, so it wasn't like they had to, 4 plays actually. They weren't giving up like a huge drive, and they have to come back out as the snap, and the ball is out. Maybe the ball is, I thought it was out. It looked like everybody was jumping around like the ball was out. Instead, it's a loss of 1. It's going to be 3rd and 4, and the Gauchos defense all of a sudden really tightening up.
Yeah, a little bit of momentum gained from that fumble taken back to the house. A little bit of swagger in him now, and just rocking Daniels on that Wildcat keeper again, and all of a sudden 3rd and about 7 now, as Grover will come back onto the field for this one.
Yep, so it's 3rd down and 7. Grover as the quarterback. It's going to be a shotgun snap. 2 receivers to his left, 1 out to his right. Here's the snap. Grover drops back, looks to his right side, throws, and it is knocked down. And the Gauchos, great job there by the defensive back, Tristan Becker. And the Gauchos, one more time, going to bring out the punt team, it would seem, and here it comes. And the Gauchos going to have their chance. The last 2 times they've played really good defense, and it's not like the Gauchos offense hasn't moved the ball. They've just had a hard time scoring.
Yeah, hard time scoring, some slip-ups, but a good job by Decker there, getting his hand out in front. Sometimes some defensive backs will want to try to go for the pick, but just doing a good job of getting his hands on it, making sure the wide receiver cannot catch the ball. And the punt here is going to come from number 97 from Phoenix, Bryce Redmond.
And Redmond gets the snap. He's going to punt it, and it's going to be to Decker. Decker's going to catch it at the 11. Decker goes left. Decker gets a block. He's at the 15, and he is tripped up there at the 17-yard line, and the Gauchos going to have to go 83 yards if they want another 7 points.
Yeah, a little bit of return there. It was a line drive kick. You almost wonder if you could have let that one go, get out to the 20-yard line. But when we come back, the Gauchos are going to have a chance to take the lead and hear this one from Phoenix College.
Welcome back to Phoenix College, and here's the snap, and it is a handoff from Abdullah. Actually, John Brown's back out there, and we talked about maybe running a 2-quarterback system, and a lot of fighting. There's a helmet off of Phoenix College, so that player's going to have to come out.
And from Glendale as well.
And the Gauchos now, it's going to be 2nd down and probably 10 after, actually they were able to push the pile forward for 4 yards, and now it's going to be 2nd and 6.
Yeah, giving number 45, Dimitri Eagle, in the tackle on that one, the freshman from Texas, as now it is going to be a 2nd down.
2nd down now for the Gauchos.
To the bench.
And the clock finally moving. It was standing still with 5 minutes remaining here in the first half. Brown's in the shotgun. The Gauchos moving from left to right on your radio dial.
3 wide receivers on the right.
And there's the snap. Brown decides to hand it off instead, and there is 4 Phoenix College defenders there to meet up with Gregory Scott. And it's now going to bring up a 3rd and long. We talked about the Gauchos trying to stay out of a 3rd and long. They really haven't thrown the ball, and let alone throw the ball downfield. And if they're going to want a first down, they're going to have to throw the ball at least 11 yards.
And John Brown had three wide receivers on that right-hand side, but only 2 cornerbacks in that vicinity. And it's the same thing right now. That safety's creeping in a little bit, and that safety for Phoenix is noticing it right now. But those 3 wideouts right there might be something to work with. And that safety's creeping in a little bit, but once again from the shotgun, here it comes. Looks over to his left and scrambling out to the right. Going really too open, and it's going to be caught over there on that right side, and it is just going to be short of the first down. And that's number 84 from the Gauchos. That's going to be Jake LaRue.
Yeah, Jake LaRue. He makes that catch. He was actually open on that little curl all the entire play, and Brown finally saw him when he rolled out to his right, and the Gauchos are going to go for it on 4th down and 1. The quarterback is going to be Brown. The running back is Rashi Hodge.
Yeah, but you also wondered Brown might.
Oh, they actually gave him the first down. Wow, they moved the chains.
Yeah, they
a very interesting spot.
Right there, actually, yeah.
And here's a snap to Brown. Brown looks to his left. He's going to get outside, and Brown throws it away. And Brown's going to throw it away. And so the Gauchos now are going to be in a 2nd and 10. They did move the chains. They looked like they spotted him a yard short, and I don't know if they moved the spot or what, but they decided to give him a first down, and the Brown can't find anybody, so it's going to be a 2nd and 10.
Yeah, just not able to find anybody open on that one, and all of a sudden 2nd down and 10 here for Brown. Shotgun formation, running back to his right, 3 wide receivers on the left side. As he's going to be taken in from the shotgun, quick over to his right-hand side. Gets a nice little juke on that one, and almost gets another one out to the right-hand side, but is finally taken down at around the 35-yard line.
Rashi Hodge, he gets himself a good 7-yard gain, and now the Gauchos in a 3rd and manageable. Time is running down here in the second half. There's 3:21 remaining in the first half. Brown looks to his left sideline, and Brown's going to let his offensive lineman know about the play.
Hodge still out there with Brown on his left-hand side, 2 wideouts over to the left-hand side. The handoff is to Hodge, and he fumbles forward, and he's still running, still tumbling, still finding his way over to about the 47-yard line, and it is going to be a first down here for the Gauchos after a nice run from Rashi Hodge.
Yep, the clock stops, and Rashi Hodge broke a couple tackles, and we've seen it all night. Hodge has really been breaking a bunch of tackles, and so has Gregory Scott. Scott's been able to find a way to get downfield and gain some extra yards, as now it's 1st and 10, ball on the Glendale 47, 2:40 left here in the first half. Brown looks to his right at the one receiver. Now he's going to get the shotgun snap.
From that left hand side, watch how dangerous.
And throws downfield, and it is overthrown. And there's a throw. It's Jake LaRue.
Jesus fucking Christ!
Jake LaRue, yeah. Looking from on that right-hand side, just a little overthrown, though.
Mustang.
And it is going to be 2nd down now.
Fucking do anything.
And now it's 2nd down and 10, ball on the 47-yard line. John Brown is looking towards his sideline and is going to walk back. 18 seconds left on the play clock. And Brown, now the new running back there for the Gauchos is Dexter Carter.
And he's had a couple of good run sets, and he has to look at the play clock. He only has 7 seconds left to go. And finally, the snap getting off. Phoenix defense read it well. They knew he didn't have a lot of time, but still getting a good runoff is Carter, number 25, getting about a 4-yard gain on the play.
Yeah, and a 3-yard gain there, a 4-yard gain, and it's going to be 2nd and 6. Ball on the Phoenix College 49-yard line. 2:11 left here in the first half. Brown going to get back in the shotgun. They've been shotgun pretty much this entire way. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Brown waits, is going to get the shotgun snap, drops, looks to his left, throws, caught, and falling down on the catch is Jamon Jones, the former quarterback. Jamon Jones was a quarterback last year, played when Akil Abdullah went down, and this time he's converted to receiver with 2 talented quarterbacks, and he makes a catch, and it will be 4th down for the Gauchos offense.
Yeah, we talked about it before the game. Jamon Jones obviously playing a little bit when Abdullah went down. Had a pretty good year last year when it came to receiving, and he's going to look to continue that this year as he makes the transition back over to wide receiver. And it looks like there's a timeout on the field for the Bears, and we'll come back with the rest of this first half of play. Just about a minute and a half left to go in the first half of play here from Phoenix, all tied up at 7-7.
Welcome back here to beautiful Phoenix College. It's going to be 4th down, and the Gauchos are going to have to punt 4th and 3. Phoenix College took a timeout to get the ball back with a little under 129 remaining to drive it downfield, and a good punt there.
Nice hang time.
And it's going to be fair caught at the 9-yard line. And the punter there was Jack Rasmussen, and Rasmussen pins Phoenix College at the 10-yard line. A fair catch by Green, Jarrell Green. And Phoenix College is going to have to drive 90 yards and 121. A couple things I like about that punt. One, they pinned them on the 10-yard line of Phoenix College, but Rasmussen had the awareness to roll out a little bit to drop a couple seconds off the clock. He did
a little bit of time. Just a minute and a half left to go. Time is of the essence here, and Phoenix, they have to get all the way down the field, go at least 90 yards to get to that touchdown. And coming out again is going to be Grover. Glendale defense reformatting themselves here. 4 wideouts in total.
Now it's first down. Grover looks. He's going to throw the screen, and it's out to the right-hand side. No tackle made by Devontae Loggins, but there was a tackle finally made by the linebacker, Cephas Harden.
Yeah, and good job by Bryce just getting himself open. And you can see there's a little blitz on that right-hand side for Glendale, and a good job by Grover by just getting rid of it quickly. As he takes it from the snap, shotgun formation, a little bit of pressure, and he's going to be taken down.
And Grover has, when he's gotten sacked, he has been very prone to fumble in this game, and he was running around with that ball like a loaf of bread, and I'm surprised that ball didn't pop out this time when he got dragged down.
Yeah, he eventually just decided to go down with both hands on the ball, and now I think we have another timeout on the field, and when we come back we'll have the rest of this one. It is going to be 2nd down and long here, as it is a timeout for the Bears.
And welcome back to to Phoenix College. We're here for Glendale Community College as the Gauchos and the Bears are tied at 7. It's going to be Grover on 2nd and 19 after a sack. A quick pass, throws the seam.
No one is looking at all.
And nobody was looking. The Gauchos defense was a little soft in the middle. Nobody was there. Matthew Mitchell open running up the right side, and he wasn't even looking for that pass.
And the Gauchos defense weren't even looking for it. They were just following the receivers.
So now it's going to be 3rd and 19, and Grover's going
to have to pass it here.
Yeah, he's been getting the ball out of his hand really quickly because he's been sacked 3 times, and the Gauchos are getting that ball out every time they hit him. And so
the 3rd and long here from Grover. 4 wideouts going out. Grover under pressure again. Rolls out to his right. He has someone chasing him, and he's just going to take it out of bounds and stop the clock, which is exactly what GCC wants. They're going to get the ball back. They have about 45 seconds, barring a punt here. But, GCC going to get the ball back with an opportunity to take the lead in the halftime.
And Brandon Lewis, it's so tempting when you see that quarterback, 2 steps from the sideline to just drill him. Instead, he just lets him walk out of bounds. He knows his offense is going to get the ball back with a little bit of time. Gauchos have all 3 timeouts left. So not only do they have, not great time, but they have 45 seconds and 3 timeouts. They might start the drive in Phoenix College territory. The punt returner is Tristan Decker, and Decker's going to stand at the 45. Keeps moving up and down, and he's going to stop at the 45, 44-yard line and use the punt. He is going to field it at the 45, and he drops it, and it's going to be picked up by Decker. Decker's going to fall right on it. Good awareness, and Decker, instead of, I don't think he saw that guy coming down on him, didn't fair catch it, and he got hit right as he touched it, dropped it, but jumps right back on top.
And you can hear my maternal instinct getting the better of me right there, just saying no a couple of times, but not having the presence of mind to look around him and see what's going on, just focusing on that ball. You've got to be aware of what's going on around you. That Phoenix College defender could have been a lot more ruthless in that hit, and the Gauchos are honestly lucky to get the ball back there, right there.
So 37.5 seconds left in the second half. The Gauchos have it 1st and 10 on their own 45-yard line.
Brown out there.
3 timeouts left. John Brown in the shotgun snap. He has 3 receivers left. He gets the snap. Here comes the blitz. A quick throw out to the right-hand side. It's Scott. Scott's going to get to the 45 of the Bears where he's wrapped up. It's going to be at the 46. And here comes the flag. This might be on Phoenix College.
It might be, and the spot gives it about a first down. So it's going to be interesting where they also spot the ball.
And this is a 15-yard penalty. This is going to be right on the 30-yard line and in somewhat field goal range, at least enough to take an attempt at the end of the half.
Yeah, but you got to wonder if they're going to be, have a little bit of a weary mind as far as their kicking game goes. Already 2 blocked punts, 2 blocked kicks, I should say. And you got to wonder what's going on. And it appears that it's going to be against the Gauchos.
Yeah, it's a dead ball foul, and it's going to be a 15-yard penalty, and that hurts. On a dead ball foul, if you get a 1st and 10, you'll keep the 1st and 10. They did not get the 1st and 10, so it's going to be 2nd and 16.
So that clock is going to run, and it is going to be a 2nd and very, very long. And all of a sudden, you have about 30 seconds left to work, and you almost can't run the ball here unless you get the ball out of bounds really quickly. And now we have an official stoppage on the field.
The clock started to run, and I think they're unsure whether
if the clock should be running.
I think Phoenix College is making the argument against it. That should not be, because they want the ball back too. They still have 2 timeouts, or they have 1 timeout left.
Well, for Phoenix College, the first thing you want to worry about right now is getting the stoppage. But yeah, they would want some time on that clock. Should be going. We got to watch the guy in the white hat, see if he winds his arm or not. And we're still conferring here.
And the Gauchos are at least going to set up and we'll tell the coaches to back off, but we're still unsure about what we're doing here.
And once again, if you're just joining us here on the Gauchos live stream network, a little under 30 seconds left in the first half. 7-7 is the score. The Phoenix Bears and the Glendale Gauchos. And I believe they just asked for a little bit more time to be put on the clock.
Well, the white hat, his microphone is like cutting in and out, and so it's hard to hear what he's saying. I think he is asking for more time, but we can't hear what he's saying.
Because the clock was winding because, like you had mentioned, 2nd down, they just barely missed out. They're going to put it back to where it was originally, 29.5 seconds. So a little bit more time here for the Gauchos, but like you said, 2nd and very long.
And the clock still hasn't reset. I don't know what's... Well, hang on. We got to get the clock set because now it says 2 minutes and 90 seconds. And there we go. Now we're at 29.5.
There we go. So about 30 seconds left to go in this one. And, when you're in a game like this, in a tense situation, a stoppage like that can take the momentum out of everything. But in this situation, the momentum was going the way of the Phoenix defense, was it not?
I mean, they did give up that 9-yard play, but the Gauchos made a costly mistake picking up. And like I said, they were 1 yard short of that first down. If they get that first down, that 15 yards is going to move back and it'll be 1st and 10. Instead, now you have a 2nd and 16 situation. I wonder if the Gauchos are just going to hand the ball off and take it into halftime. And
Phoenix Bears, I believe, have 2 more timeouts, so they can use those.
They have
for the
one.
next 1 timeout remaining. No, they have 2 timeouts remaining, and they can use those and stop the clock. But if the Gauchos elect to pass here, it would obviously put more time on the clock should Phoenix get it back. And we're still conferring with the referees as to what's going on. Head coach Mickey Bell wants to know exactly what's going on.
Well, Mickey Bell's winding his arm like he wants that time to run out.
Time to run out, yeah.
He's got the headset off. Looks like he's ready to run to the locker room, and I think he wants that time to roll because they're just gonna eat. They're gonna eat the rest of the clock.
And if you're the Phoenix Bears, what do? Do you stop this clock? You would stop it on 4th down.
19.5.
So there's going to be a 10-second runoff because it's under a minute, and that is the rule. A 10-second runoff, but we're extremely confused here. And PC actually does only have 1 timeout left. Second quarter, 2nd and 10, ball on the 45-yard line here for the Gauchos. They're going to roll the clock. I think that's going to be it. Mickey Bell got the headset off, walking towards the exit.
The offensive line of the Gauchos wants to do something here, and I think they're just realizing that is not going to be the case. And that is going to do it here for the first half of play. And a lot of things going on, 2 fumbles, 2 blocked field goal attempts, and at the end of 2 quarters, the score is 7-7 set.
Yeah, for the Gauchos, we're going to see they've been able to move the ball, just had a hard time scoring, and for the defense, they keep getting to the quarterback. Anything more than about 3 seconds back there for Grover is resulting in him getting smacked pretty hard. So we'll be back here on Gauchos live stream. The Gauchos 7, PC 7. It is junior college football here on the Gauchos live stream network. Welcome back here to beautiful Phoenix College. It's a great night out here, and it's really a great view. You can see if you look out to your right, we're sitting in the press box on the PC sideline. Scoreboards are the left-hand side, going left to right, and you can, when you look southeast, you can see downtown Phoenix. You can't see it now, the sun's down, but when the sun was up, you can see, the Sheridan, you can see Chase Field where the D-backs were just playing. You can see Walter Cronkite School of Journalism. Got a lot of people in here for that. Andrew Bell, we have TJ Mathewson writing back there. Follow him. TJ, what's your Twitter? Is it at TJ?
TJM5518.
If you didn't hear him, at TJM5518. He is actually live tweeting, so if you can't, if you're headed out in the car and you can't listen to us, you can listen in. You can listen or to follow him on Twitter. After the game, we're hoping to get Andrew Bell and TJ Mathewson in for a little post-game show. So, boys, get your voices ready for that. You got a couple hours to prepare. Andrew Bell doing great on stats here. We'll have those right when we come back. But right now, Adrian, what have you been seeing out of both of these teams?
I'm seeing a lot of football being played by two teams that are in their first game of the season. A little bit of, I don't want to say sloppy play, but definitely a little bit of rusty play. It's the first game of the season. Obviously, things aren't going to go as perfectly as you'd hoped. 2 blocked field goals for the Gauchos, as well as 2 fumbles from Abdullah. But doing a good job are the Gauchos of getting back into this game, heading into the second half, tied up at 7. And like you had mentioned, the beautiful Phoenix skyline over there, somewhere over there is Chase Field, where Goldschmidt is striking out at least one time a game. And when we come back, we'll have a little bit of stats for you, and we'll have the second half here from Phoenix College, all tied up at 7, going into the second half of play. Welcome back to Phoenix College, and just a reminder, next week we are back on the road to Scottsdale, where we will be facing the Artichokes of Scottsdale, and we'll be over there for you next Saturday to cover that one. And when we come back, we'll have a little bit of stats for you, as well as a quick recap of the first half and a little bit of discussion about what's to come in the second half of this one. Once again, if you're just joining us, halftime here from Phoenix College, and the Gauchos are currently tied with the Bears of Phoenix College by a score of 7-7. So when we get right back, we'll have those stats for you as well as recap of the first half.
Welcome back to Phoenix College. My name is Seth Askelson along with Adrian Palaio. It is the Glendale Community College Gauchos 7, the Phoenix College Bears 7. Stats so far, the Gauchos 123 yards total to the Bears 105. That's offense, not total yards. Gauchos, that breaks down to 51 passing yards, 72 rushing yards. Phoenix College 37 rushing yards, 65 passing yards. I want to remind the audience this is unofficial. We are holding our own stats. Glendale Community College is their stats during film, so those are the official stats. We decided to do our stats on our own to have a little more in-depth analysis, and so these are all unofficial, so don't look in the box score and call us liars. Please don't call us liars.
And just to let you know that Phoenix College total yards would be a lot higher if we were counting return yards. I believe number 6, Darrell Green, absolutely tearing through the special teams unit. Nearly every single return that he's taken has been into Gauchos territory, and that's really been a key part for this Phoenix Bears offense, getting started deep into that territory, and it's definitely going to be a contributing factor going into the second half.
And we talked about quarterback play going into this game. The Gauchos running 2 quarterbacks, a freshman quarterback for PC, one that we didn't really expect. And it's really been about the run, as we saw. But looking at quarterback comparisons, Akil Abdullah, 1 for 3 on 11 yards and 5 rush yards. John Brown, not too much better. He is 4 for 6, but only 28 passing yards. He has 11 rushing yards. When you look over at the Phoenix College side for the freshman Noah Grover, he's 6 for 15 for 65 yards. He has been sacked 3 times, and it seems in the second quarter, the longer he stood back there, he wasn't necessarily getting sacked, but there was a lot of red helmets coming around him before he could get rid of the ball.
Yeah, and it's almost like the more time he has, the more indecisive he gets. When he throws it real quick, it's either a screen pass or it's just a quick something really quick in the slot. Grover, the more time that he has, the more indecisive he gets, and it's almost like the pressure gets on him a little bit more. And Gauchos elected to receive in the first half, so it will be the Bears receiving to begin this second half. 7-7 if you're just joining us here. The beginning of the second half live from Phoenix College here on the Gauchos live stream network. Adrian Palaio alongside Seth Askelson as that one is cut just by the end line on the right-hand side at around the 4-yard line, and it is being taken by the Phoenix College Bears and getting out to around the 28-yard line is the returner, and that is where they will set up shop.
Yeah, and it's Darrell Green, and like we literally just talked about before that kickoff, Green has been dangerous, and he only got out to the 28, but he caught it at the 4, and he got around some defenders, and he was trying to turn it up, and the Gauchos important to stay in their lanes and drag them down before it got too dangerous. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for Phoenix College at the 28-yard line. It's going to be Noah Grover back out there at quarterback, the freshman quarterback starting for Phoenix College from Mountain Point High School in Phoenix, 195, 6 foot 2 inches. Grover has a running back to his right. He's going right to left on the radio dial. Hand off to the running back, and it's to the right side. The Gauchos swarm the running back and drop him after a gain of 3. It's Donovan Daniels bringing up 2nd and 7.
Yeah, good job by number 93, Trey Glasscock, to get on that tackle. Only a small gain on that one. Good job by the Phoenix Bears in the first half, running the ball, getting some good offensive yards, and we're going to see in the second half how good they do. Good crowd out here in Phoenix College, as you mentioned in the halftime break.
Oh, the ball was out. The ball came out. Grover got the ball. Looked like he was going to run a read option. The running back wasn't looking at the ball either, and the ball just hit the turf, and Grover had enough awareness to drop on it, and it's another 3rd down. We've seen the Gauchos push the Bears in the 3rd down and long situations, and when they have, they've been getting the quarterback, hitting him, sacking him like we saw. That was actually a 1st down play, but when they got to him, that's how they scored their points, and let's see if the Gauchos can get another sack.
And 3rd down and long here for the Phoenix Bears. Grover, 3 wideouts to his right. Looks like there is going to be a blitz up the middle. It is heavy, and quickly getting the pass off, and wide open up the middle is the slot receiver for the Bears, and it looks like he's going to take it the distance, as that is going to be about a 71-yard passing touchdown for Grover, and immediately taking the lead here in the second half are the Bears.
It's Matthew Mitchell, and we saw that play at the end of the second quarter. He tried to throw, Grover tried to throw that exact pass to Mitchell, and that's what we were talking about. On that first play, Mitchell wasn't looking, and that ball went over his head, and if he had caught that first pass, it would have been a touchdown. This time, they recognized the blitz up the middle, leaving Matthews open, and he caught that ball, and Matthew Mitchell open, he caught that ball, and he just ran right up the middle, and unfortunately for the Gauchos, they're now down 13-7, and here comes the extra point. It is up, and it is good, and it is now 14-7 Phoenix College.
Yeah, just before I mentioned just before the second half got underway, whenever Grover makes a quick pass, when he's quick with his decisions, it's almost always a completed pass. And right there, reading the blitz immediately, knows he has his man wide open and just gets it to him real quick. And all of a sudden, it's 14-7 Phoenix. When we come back, we are going to see if the Gauchos can pick back right from where they left off in the second half. 14-7, the score now. The Bears in the lead. Back in here from Phoenix College as the kick is underway. 14-7 the score now. Phoenix just taking the lead at the start of this second half, as it is going to be taken from Woodbury, and he gets a block, and he has a wide open lane on that left side, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds by the kicker, it would seem, at around midfield.
And now it's 14-7 for the Bears. That last drive, 3 plays, 72 yards, 1 minute and 12 seconds. And like we mentioned coming out of halftime, Grover had 65 yards of passing on his first attempt of the second half. He
doubles that.
Well, not doubles, but he goes over it. He hit 71. And so he now has 136 yards of passing. The Gauchos now are going to have to answer. Their offense has yet to score a touchdown. It has been their defense that scored the touchdown, and now the offense needs to get themselves into the end zone as Brown takes the shotgun snap, takes the handoff, and now he's going to run left. Oh, cannot break a tackle. He is dragged down hard. It's going to be a loss of 2, and it will bring up 2nd and 12.
Yeah, just a nice job by that Phoenix defenseman of just getting in there, not realizing that the running back has it, and that is Green, the returner who got in that defensive back, and a nice loss on the play, about a 2-yard loss. And it's going to be 2nd down and long now.
And now 2nd down, and what looks like they did give him the line of scrimmage back, so it'll be 2nd and 10. Brown in the shotgun snap. He's going to take it. He drops back. Looks. Quick throw. It is caught there by his receiver. That's Sterling Whitley III. And it's going to be a 1st down and 11-yard gain. And the Gauchos are going to get their first down of the second half.
A good catch there by Sterling Whitley III. Didn't feature all that much last season. Only 5 catches in his entirety of last season. 78 yards. Did get 1 touchdown. And good to get a catch there. And get a quick passing 1st down there for the Gauchos. As under center is Brown. The handoff is up the middle. And he is met by a barrage of Bears. And there's going to be a short gain, if anything, on that one.
Rashid Hodge got the handoff at the middle. And we talked about this is obviously a different quarterback. It's not Akil Abdullah. But Abdullah, when he got under center, he had difficulty. He fumbled the ball twice on handoffs at the goal line. And it's nice to see Brown not fumble the ball on a handoff under center. Unfortunately, that was only a 1-yard gain as Brown is now back in the shotgun. And he has Dexter Carter in the backfield with him to the right. Brown's going to wait for the snap as he has 2 receivers to his left. He's got the snap. Brown looks. He's going to go up the middle, and he's going to get sacked. The sack there by Phoenix College. It's going to be Emilio Rodriguez on the safety blitz. He drags down Brown, and it's going to be back to the original line of scrimmage, actually a yard farther back, and it's going to be 3rd and 11 at the Phoenix College 42-yard line.
Yeah, good job there by Emilio, just reading that the quarterback still had the ball. And, Rodriguez was a big feature in last year's defense for the Bears, too. 39 tackles on the season, 3.5 sacks as well, and getting his first of the season right there. 3rd down and 11 here. In the shotgun now is Brown. Carter to his right. Takes the snap. And it is going to be a quick one over to Carter. It's not going to be enough for the 1st down, as he's going to get it out to the 40-yard line, and he's going to be about 8 yards short of the 1st down. And we're going to see if the punt formation comes out. And it is indeed going to be the punt formation coming out for the Gauchos.
Yeah, and the Gauchos really hurt by that sack. Brown looked good when he threw that 11-yard pass for the 1st down on 3rd down last time, and unfortunately there's not going to be any points for the Gauchos, and it's going to result in a punt. But their defense has played well enough outside of that one blown play. They've played really well, and I think they're going to learn from that, and you just trust your defense at this point in the game. You just started the second half. Your defense isn't playing horribly, and you're only down 1 score. Here's the punt
from Rasmussen, who has that really good punt last time out. and it's going to be fair caught at around the 11-yard line. And that is where the Bears will set up shop. When we come back, 14-7 the score. The Bears in the lead. 10.5 minutes left to go here in the third quarter on the Gauchos live stream network.
Welcome back to Phoenix College. It's the Bears 14 and your Gauchos 7. 1st and 10 on the Bears 12-yard line for Phoenix College. Here's the snap, and it's a handoff to the right side, and it's Irvin. And Irvin gets dropped down for a 2-yard loss. It's going to be at the 11-yard line, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Yeah, just good job by the Gaucho defense of getting to him there. Sets up a 2nd and long.
Yeah, now it's 2nd and 11, and we've seen, backed up by the goal line, the Gauchos defense, that line has really ramped up, and the blitzes have too, getting sacks. But the last time they went for a blitz, they got burned for a 71-yard pass, so we'll see what they do here. And now waiting for the shotgun snap is Grover. Grover gives the handoff one more time, and it's coming up the middle, and it's Irvin. And Irvin.
4-yard gain there. Just punching it up the gut, getting a couple of yards there for the Phoenix Bears. Sets up a manageable 3rd down here for the Bears, about 4 yards to go. You can run it with Irvin here, get a quick screen pass off. But it looks like those cornerbacks are putting in a little tight. And the handoff is to Irvin once again, and it looks like he's just going to be short of the 1st down.
That's an interesting play call, succession of play calls there. Three runs up the middle. The Gauchos defense has been really good at stopping the run, and they burned him on that pass, and I don't think they were going to burn him on a pass like that again, but you got to at least try on 3rd down. But Phoenix College was deep in their own territory, and they're not really going to flip the field. They might kick it to midfield. The punt returner for the Gauchos is Tristan Decker. He's got his heels at the 40-yard line. And here comes the punt from all-around kicker Bryce Redmond. He gets the snap. And here's the punt, and it is a wide. And it is caught there. And now bring it upfield for the Gauchos is Decker. And Decker's going to get out to the 50-yard line. It's going to be the 49. There's two flags.
Extracurricular activity on the play. I think I saw both teams involved in that one. It's going to be interesting to see who this is actually on.
Well, there's 2 flags out, which means there could be 2 separate penalties. It looks like...
I did see that in the legal block. He kind of just like dove in at the end of the play, and that is what the call is going to be. And the Gauchos are going to start out with the ball in their own territory as opposed to on the Phoenix side of the field when we come back on the Gauchos live stream network.
Welcome back here to Phoenix College, and it's going to be another quarterback change for the Gauchos. They're going back to Akil Abdullah, who in the first half was 1 of 3 for 11 passing yards and only ran the ball 5 times.
He's under center set.
Yeah, under center. Last time he fumbled it, and this time he's going to get a clean handoff. PC's defense on the run, when they're getting under center, they're busting that offensive line. And
a bunch of big boys on that defensive line just ramming the line of scrimmage and not letting that running back get up the hole. It's really when they get to the outside that the Gauchos running game has been successful.
Yeah, and the Gauchos, and it seems like when they're in shotgun too is when they're getting it. When they're going under center trying to power it, there's nothing doing. And now Abdullah is going to go into the shotgun with Carter to his left. The Gauchos going left to right on your computer screen, trailing by 7. Here's a snap. Abdullah fake. It's a screen. And running all the way back across.
But it's going to work out a good block.
Yeah, it's Brian Smith Jr. And there is a flag on the left side too. Let's hope that's not a hold. And he ran about 15 yards to gain 5, and this might be coming back.
And the flag was thrown on the far side of the field. That's probably going to be a hold on one of his wideouts.
That or a block in the back.
It's an interesting screen pass. And he runs horizontally across the field, and it nearly worked had he gotten that last block in, Seth.
And the white hat's waiting, I think, for the numbers. It's number 67 on the illegal block in the back.
Manny Arona, number 67 on the illegal block. It's going to bring the ball back quite some yards, and it is still going to be second down.
And when you get an offensive lineman like that out in the field, he's not used to blocking out that far, and sometimes...
So if he's going to block, he's just going to do whatever he can, and sometimes it's illegal to do it like that.
Now Abdullah gets a shotgun snap. He looks. He's going to throw deep into coverage. Oh, and almost a one-handed catch by Brian Smith Jr., the guy who caught the screen last time. He turned his body and got a hand on it. He wasn't able to bring it in, but a better effort and closer than what was originally thought.
And didn't throw it very hard, kind of a floater. The defensive backs had time to get over there and get in there on the coverage. It looked like it was always going to be out of bounds, however. And third down and very long now for the Gauchos. Looks like there's going to be 2 wideouts over to the left, 2 to the right as well. And I believe that the running back to his left is going to be Dexter Carter. As he takes the handoff is to Carter, runs over to the right-hand side, not able to get the final block, and is the wideout on the right side, and it is only going to be about a 5-yard gain, not good enough for the first down, and the punting formation is probably going to be coming out here for the Gauchos.
And I don't know if Carter didn't see it or if he just couldn't make a decision. He had a hole to his left and to his right, and instead he ran right into the defender. He might have been indecisive there.
I think he was hoping to get that final block, and he was just following that wide receiver, but just wasn't able to get that final block in. And that's the price you pay when you are running back following those blockers. As in for the punts comes, taking his time and running over. It almost touches a Phoenix
Bear. Did that touch him?
That did not touch him, but it is going to roll, and it is going to be declared dead at around the 38-yard line. So nearly a turnover on that one from Phoenix, and when we come back, they're going to take over on their own 38-yard line. And there is, in fact, a penalty marker on the field. It's around where the punt happened. And we're going to see what happened here before we head for a break.
Yeah, and the Gauchos, they pinned Phoenix College down in their own, inside their own 20s on the 11, and they got the ball back at the 45, and there's an illegal motion.
5-yard penalty will be back on to the end of the run. First down.
So illegal motion, it will be tacked on to the end of the run.
That's going to put the Phoenix Bears at their own 43 when we come back. They're going to look to add on to this 14-7 lead they have over the Gauchos with just about 7 minutes left to go in this third quarter when we get back.
Welcome back here to Phoenix College. It is 14-7 in favor of the Bears. The Gauchos struggling on offense. They have not scored a touchdown. It's been a defensive fumble return for the Gauchos of how they got their 7 points. And now it's the Wildcat and a hand off and a tackle there by John Rincon. And the Bears, they've been running that Wildcat. They came out and they ran it the first play of the game. We saw their freshman quarterback, Noah Grover, go out wide, first play of the season. And
we saw Donovan Daniels also get rocked early on in the game due to that Wildcat formation.
Number 44, John Rankin.
And John Rincon getting a good job getting to that backfield and taking out the ball carrier. Like we mentioned earlier on today, John Rincon, a really good leader of this defense, and is among the leaders when it comes to the returning starters on this defense, as we have a man in motion coming out, and that is going to be a false start against Phoenix.
Yeah, and the Glendale, they had 5 penalties for 55 yards, and it kind of killed them on field position, and the Bears are deciding to flip the field on themselves here on that play, and it's going to be 2nd and 16. And like we've talked about, that's the Gauchos quarterback, when Grover's had to draw it back for a long amount, he has had not a great time. He's been hit, and here's the shotgun snap and the throw down the middle of the field to Matthew. Oh, and he drops it. It was to Matthew Mitchell, and it goes right through his hand. The pass is a little behind him, but that's still one he's got to bring in, and it will be 3rd down and 16.
Yeah, Matt Mitchell's got to get his hands on that ball. He was, I wouldn't say wide open, but he definitely had some room to run there. and that is going to prove costly, as now it is going to be second and very, very long. Third down, in fact.
It'll be 3rd down and 16, and the Gauchos now have an opportunity to flip the field one more time. It's going to be 3rd down and 16. Here's the snap. Grover looks, has time, throws over the middle. It's batted in the air. Grover catches his own pass, and he's going to go down. That bat was batted high in the air, and Grover catches his own pass. Gains a couple of yards. Brett Favre has thrown to himself a couple of times. That's actually how he caught his. That's who caught his first ever reception, was Brett Favre, and so he pulls a little Brett Favre out of the hat and only gains a yard, and the Gauchos defense does well to stop him, and they're going to get the ball back at a favorable position, not in PC territory, but definitely not buried in their own.
Yeah, and Grover was just lucky enough that Gaucho's defensive lineman was not looking up for that batted ball. Otherwise, this could be a completely different ball game right now, as the punt is going to come out.
And he's lucky that he didn't get rocked when he caught that. He caught it as the punt is away, and it is going to be fielded. And now coming up the sideline for the Gauchos is Decker, and he's going to go down.
Tristan Decker.
And he will be at the 27-yard line of Phoenix College. The score is the Bears 14 and your Gauchos 7. We'll be back here on the Gauchos live stream network. Welcome back to the Gauchos live stream network. It is 14-7 in favor of Phoenix College. We are live at Phoenix College, and here is the snap for Abdullah. He threw a quick pass, and off the hands of his intended receiver. That's Jared Beeman, and Beeman didn't finish his route. He was turning around right when that ball was coming, and usually a coach will tell you when you turn around you got to be ready for it, but it looked like he was literally one step into his turnaround, and that ball was coming behind him. But it's going to be 2nd and 10, and Abdullah has been the worst of the passers in sense of stats-wise, but he's the one out there slinging the ball, as now it's Abdullah to his left trying to break a tackle. What's his receivers, Gregory Scott. He's still not down and finally drilled out of bounds.
All that for no gain whatsoever on the play.
Now it's going to be 3rd down and 10. It hasn't been a pretty game offensively, but Phoenix College will take it right now. They are up 14-7. So 3rd down and 10 for the Gauchos. Ball on their own 28-yard line. Their offense has been very stagnant in this 3rd quarter. Let's see if they can pick it up. It's going to be Abdullah in the shotgun. His running back is going to be Gregory Scott. He's got 2 receivers out to his left. Scott moves to his left. Now Abdullah looks, still looks, rolls. He's going to have to run and step out of bounds. He was hoping his tight end got upfield a little more. That's Raymond Powell's. He was standing there on the short curl route, and Abdullah was telling him to go upfield, and he ran out of options and decided to run out of bounds, and it's going to be a 4th down and 8.
Yeah, he'd rather run it out of bounds there than give up an interception on a forced pass, however. And 4th down, the punting formation is going to come out. And down by 7 here, it's going to be interesting to see how this Gauchos defense responds.
Punting for the Gauchos, number 89, Jack Rasmussen.
So it's Jack Rasmussen, who's been punting really well. He's had 2 punts deep into Phoenix College territory, and it wasn't like he was standing at the 30 either. He's been punting the ball a good 45 yards. And he almost fumbles it, and his line kind of bails him out as nobody was there, even when he picks it up. It takes a PC bounce, and it's going to be touched at the 37. Good job by Rasmussen. He caught it. It almost falls out of his arms, and he's calm, and that's what you want to see out of your punter. When things go sideways, you don't want to see him freak out and drop that ball, because when a football, it's not round, so it's not going to bounce back to you. It's going to bounce around. He gets the kickoff calmly, and nobody's there to block it, and he still gets a good punt off.
Calm, cool, and collected from the punter, and when we come back, is going to be on the 38-yard line. And in fact, we're going to stay right here as Grover and company come right out onto the field, looking to increase this lead with just about 4 minutes left to go here in this 3rd quarter. 2 wideouts to his right, 1 to his left. The snap is taken, reversed, it is fumbled on the field, picked up, and nearly taken down again. Still room to work on that right side, and finally taken down for a sizable loss. And wow, they try a trick play, try to catch the Gauchos defense off guard, and it nearly backfires on them severely there, Seth.
Well, it does. They lose a significant chunk of yards. They could just bring the punt team out now if they wanted to, and it's going to be a second down. We'll see officially when it's marked.
Looks like it's on the 22. It was on the 38, so you can mark that down as a 16-yard loss. So this is going to be a second down and 26 on the play. Grover running back to his left, and it is going to be a toss to the left as he runs up the field and is going to get a little bit of those yards back, about a 7-yard gain on the play.
Yeah, and the Bears have not necessarily made it third and manageable, but definitely not third and 25. And so let's see if they throw it down the field. The last time they threw it down the field, it was a 71-yard touchdown. That's what the Gauchos have to be aware of. It's the quick pass. Like you said, Grover, when he gets that ball out of his hand quick, good things happen for him.
And I think the Gauchos defense does recognize that. Those safeties a little more deep than they usually are. In fact, creeping in a little bit as we speak right now. One right out to the right. Blitz coming up through the middle. And oh no, it's another quick pass. And wide open, almost catching it with one hand, is the wideout on the far side. And once again, a quick throw from Grover almost proves costly for the Gauchos. And now it's going to be fourth down and long, and out comes the punt team.
And the pass, the receiver could have caught that with two hands for sure. He had enough room. I think he was just trying to be fancy with that one-handed catch and touchdown, and instead it's going to be a 4th and 20. The Gauchos are going to get the ball back, and we'll see what the return team can do. Dexter Carter has gotten the Gauchos into PC territory with his returns a couple times.
Watch out for those line drive kicks from Redmond as he takes the snap. And once again, actually a nice hang time on that one. Fair catch called, and he's going to call it dead at around the 30-yard line, and that is where the Gauchos will shut up shop. When we come back, 2:44 left to go in this third quarter. 14-7 the score, the Gauchos trail.
Welcome back to Phoenix College. It's the Bears 14 and the Gauchos 7. John Brown back at quarterback. We've seen that carousel all night. Brown's going to take the shotgun snap from his own 30-yard line. He's going to hand it off. And now running the ball is Rashi Hodge, and Hodge is going to get dropped after a 1-yard gain, bringing up 2nd and 9.
Hodge getting out to the outside, but just nothing doing over there. And you got to wonder if Abdullah maybe keeps that on that one. Obviously read it nicely. And now we're going to have a timeout on the field.
Timeout on the field, maybe an injury timeout?
You see it from here. In fact, yes, there is a Phoenix Bear down on the field.
Yeah, he is writhing in pain. There's a lot of Phoenix College Bears in the way. We can't see his number. All we can see is his helmet moving around on the ground there. And let's just hope he's okay. You don't want to see an injury, especially first game of the year. That's going to be tough. You trained all spring. You trained all summer. You know, once we get the identification of the player, we can. But if you're a freshman, you know, you graduate high school, you're coming to play college football. And
it looks like he's getting up on his feet. Looks to be okay. Maybe just a little rock or something. Maybe helmet-to-helmet contact.
Little
to see that he's okay.
Little stinger, and it will be the 5'10" sophomore Ronald Dowdle from Desert Edge High School. Easy for me to say, huh? Anyways, he's coming off the field very slowly, and the Gauchos are starting to set up the offense, and it's going to be John Brown in the backfield as the quarterback. The white hat winds the clock, and the Gauchos are going to start setting up. It's Rashi Hodge in the backfield. Brown's going to take the shotgun snap. Fakes the handoff. Rolls left. He looks. He's going to throw downfield. There's coverage there. It is picked off. It is intercepted. John Brown throws the first interception of the season. And the Gauchos have turned the ball over. And for a team that's been struggling offensively to score points, that is not what you wanted.
And that is number 1, Isaiah Butler on the interception. The 5'10" sophomore from Mountain Point High School with one of the bigger plays tonight.
Actually, it was number 7, Jarrell Green.
Really, we've seen him all over the field tonight. Not only returning, but now interception. Last season, he had 6 interceptions, and the first one of the season right here tonight in Phoenix College.
And if you think about it, that's a glorified punt. You know, Phoenix College is on their own 37 as the snap is to Grover. Grover looks, rolls to his right. Grover dumps it off to the halfback and drops it. And it's going to be 2nd down and 10. This defense has played really well outside of a really just blown coverage at the start of the second half. They've played extremely well. The second touchdown, they had a very short field, and they did their best to stop them, but they couldn't at the goal line, and so the defense should be very proud of themselves for the Gauchos.
Yeah, some really good pressure from Greg Garrett, number 35, who had that fumble recovery for a touchdown earlier on tonight. As Grover comes back in shotgun formation, running back to his left. He has him out in the flat. He elects to go there. 2 Gauchos to meet him. Can't get him wrapped up, but they finally do at around the 34-yard line.
For the Gauchos, Abel Navarrete, he read that screen almost immediately. He started to rush the quarterback, and he saw the lineman start to come out. He rushes all the way out to the right flat and is the first one to meet him and was able to contain the running back until...
was able to get him down, but his helmet came off in the process. Has to go out for this next play as Grover comes out. Looks to be in pistol formation, and they're going to have 3 wideouts here to the right.
And then Gaucho's defense,
We're still looking to the bench, a little unsure about what the play call is, and eventually finally getting over. Not going to be pistol formation after all. To his left is going to be the running back.
It's going to be a drop back for Grover. Grover looks. He's going to escape. Chasing after him was the defensive lineman, and they finally dropped Grover. It was Trey Glasscock who had the first opportunity, and Grover just ran away from him. Glasscock chased him down until 2 linebackers converged finally, and it's going to be a 4th down for the Bears.
Yeah, eventually Greg Garrett getting the tackle on that one, but a good job by Grover of escaping the initial pressure and is getting a little bit of yards. Eventually, though, it was not enough for the first down. And we're going to see the punter once again, number 97. That is Bryce Redmond get another punt in.
And the returner is going to be Dexter Carter. He's had a couple of good returns, but like you said, the punter tonight for Phoenix College has kicked really well. And here's another hang time. It's going to have to be a fair catch.
And that is going to be at the 24-yard line. And that is where the Gauchos will shut up shop when we come back for this one. Can they tie it back up 14-7 to score? A little under a minute left to go in this third quarter here on Gauchos Livestream Network.
Welcome back to Phoenix College, and it's John Brown in the shotgun as the Bears lead 14-7. Brown fumbles the ball in the zone read, and he jumps back on it. Not a great start for the Gauchos offense, who is not getting things together right now.
Yeah, a couple of fumbles there by the quarterbacks today. We had 2 from Abdullah earlier, and now Brown falling victim to the fumble there, and it is going to be a little bit of a loss, only about a 1-yard loss on the play, and it's going to be 2nd down. Clock is winding down, and not sure if there's going to be a play happening here in this third quarter as it goes down to 15 seconds here. Under center here is Brown as it ticks down to 10 seconds, and it is going to be handed off. Over to the left-hand side goes the running back, and he is met by a barrage of Phoenix Bears, and a loss of about 4 yards is going to end the third quarter. So at the end of 3, the score now stands 14-7 Phoenix College, and when we come back, we will have the remaining quarter of football here from Phoenix, Arizona. Back into Phoenix College here, the start of the fourth quarter. 15 more minutes of football left to be played here in the state capitol, as it's going to be John Brown once again from the shotgun formation to start out this fourth quarter. 3rd and long once again. Nice block on the left-hand side, an incomplete pass to the intended receiver. Didn't even reach his hands, was well below. That was intended for number 23, Jared Beeman, on the play.
That was an ugly throw, too. Like you said, it didn't even get to him, and it was way behind him. And so the Gauchos offense, I know they like to run the football, and that's what they're built. You know, that's where they start their offense, but it's not working for them right now. So we'll see what they come out with in this fourth quarter. And at some point, when you get deeper in the quarter, if you're not winning this game, you're gonna have to throw the ball. It's a good kick there by Rasmussen. It's gonna bounce at the 40.
Jerome Green just gonna let it die. He claps his hands rather frustratingly. He wanted to return that one, but there is a flag on the field, and I think it might have been motion going on that line from Phoenix.
Yeah, it might have been offsides because that was thrown right as the ball was snapped.
On the offense, number 6. 5-yard penalty will be tacked on to the end of the run. First down.
Illegal motion by Alexander Alonzo of the Glendale Gauchos, and the Phoenix Bears offense coming out. Four straight 3-and-outs since the touchdown drive to start the second half. And so the Gauchos defense should be extremely proud of themselves, the way they've played, not only the last 4 drives, but the way they've played all game. They've scored all the points in this game. That's crazy to say. I mean, they've pretty much done all the work. And so 14-7, the Bears coming out, and so we'll see what they can do. Like we said, 4 straight 3-and-outs for the Bears since their touchdown drive to start the second half. The quarterback is going to be Grover for Phoenix College, going from left to right on your computer screen. Here's the snap. Grover looks, and it is batted down there by the man who committed the penalty. Alexander Alonzo got the illegal motion, and he decides to make up for it to bat down the pass on that play.
Just getting in the quarterback's face and batting that ball down. 2nd down and 10. Making up for his mistake a little bit on that one. And it's going to be interesting to see how the Gauchos defense responds. Like you mentioned, they've been doing great ever since that long passing touchdown. Just a quick lapse in awareness as there's some movement on that line. Not sure if it was an offside or false start call. I think there might have been an offside. Just jumped a little too quickly, that defensive line from the Gauchos.
Well, if it is, it's because they touched somebody on the offensive line, and I think that's really worked better for them because that would have been a touchdown for sure.
And it is going to be offside on the Gauchos, and it's going to be R.J. Aguilar. And that's going to move the ball up some, and that's going to be now a 2nd down and about 5.
That really works for them because Glenn Smith Jr. was wide open when that ball was snapped, and I know the whistle was blown and everybody was stopping, but that definitely could have been a dangerous touchdown. Now it's going to be 2nd and 5. Oh, and Owens jumps off this offsides again, and he coming back over the line was the right end.
Grover all by himself in that backfield.
There's Jacob Calloway who jumped over and then got back, and here comes the snap. Grover looks, throws over the middle. It's going to be a 1st down. It will be. And the Bears take advantage of the penalty and get themselves a new set of downs.
That quick little slant pattern right there to DeAndre Thompson, the 6'3" tight end out of Denver, Colorado. And a 1st down quickly for Phoenix. 14.5 minutes left to go in this ball game, and moving it into Gaucho territory.
So it's going to be 1st and 10, ball on the 44 of the Gauchos. Here's the snap and the fake handoff for Grover. Grover's going to get outside. He gets to the 40, and he is dragged down from behind at the 39-yard line, bringing up 2nd down and 5.
Nice 6-yard gain there for Grover, on the zone read, getting a quick little run out. 6 yards, like I mentioned earlier, always good to get out of any running back that you have. 14 minutes left to go here, 2nd and 5 here on the 39-yard line.
There's a snap from Grover. He hands it off to the right. Oh, and a nasty block. It was one of the Gauchos. It was Alexander Alonzo was going in for the tackle, and stepping in the way was Daniel Shrimp, and he got his legs ripped out from under him. Nonetheless, the Bears are going to have another 1st down in Gauchos territory on the 39-yard line. It's going to be 1st down and 10. Grover gets the snap, hands it off, up the middle, and dragged down immediately is the Phoenix Bears running back Daniel Irvin, bringing up 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, nice job by Nomar Laurel getting on the tackle, not letting him get too much on that one. Just a short gain, if anything, on that one, on the 34-yard line here. as Grover back in the shotgun. 2 receivers to his left, 1 on the right, running back on his left. Looks to be a quick screen play, and it was the same exact play that we saw. It was a screen play, and those defensive backs moved over there expecting it, and he immediately went to the seam route, but just dropping it was the wide receiver, and that was an immediate touchdown if he catches that set.
Yeah, DeAndre Thompson, like you said, fake the screen. Everybody drops from the middle, and DeAndre Thompson wide open, and it hits him right in the hands, right in the chest, and then right to the ground, and the Gauchos are going to have a chance to get off the field here. 3rd and 9, and it's kind of no man's land, and they might be able to get a punt at
I think this is two down territory right here. You know, you can punt it, but you know, you want to get in the lead as Grover back to pass, a little bit of pressure, throws it down the field, and it is going to be incomplete. There was a host of Gauchos in there on the coverage, and that is going to bring up 4th down, and now it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. Grover walking over to the bench, but it looks like they're going to stay on the field.
Well, Tristan Decker on that play jumped in front of the receiver, and he jumped too early, and luckily he had a couple of more of his defenders there because he jumped too early, and that ball got over his head and into the receiver's arms. Luckily his defenders knocked it loose for him.
The tight end Thompson once again intended for him getting a lot of action here in the second half. As Grover from the shotgun, 1 wide out to his left, 1 to his right, running back to his right, fake the handoff, quick slant pattern, almost tipped off and intercepted. Tip drill done well there, and it looked like it was 44 on that one. John Rincon in on the coverage, getting the tip on that one, and that is going to be a turnover on downs, Gauchos ball.
It was DJ Charles, and what happened was he got beat by the receiver initially. Christian Chavez gets around him to the outside, and he doesn't chase him down. He cuts back in, and because he cuts back in, he's the first one there to tip that ball, and his safety was not expecting that tip. He was actually lining up for the hit because he thought the catch was going to be made, and it goes over his head. Either way, the Gauchos get it back. It's 14-7. There's time left. If they can put together a solid drive, just one play at a time, keep moving those chains, keep punching.
3, 4, 5 yards at a time, and just keep punching it down the field. 8 seconds left to go on the play clock, and I think they drew someone offside here.
It's going to be a false start. They faked it. Fake snap. A couple of the safeties started moving forward, but not over the line, and it's going to be a false start. It's going to be a false start there on the offensive line. It's going to be Steve
Bailey, number 70 on that one. That was false starts. And it's going to move them back 5 yards. 1st and 15 now on their own 29-yard line.
And for an offense that has not done well, it's not
penalties today for this Gauchos offense as well. As the handoff is up the middle, little seam to work with, little hole of the middle, and gets about a good 12 yards on the run. That's Dexter Carter on the run. Gets about 12 yards on the play, sets up a manageable 2nd down and about 3.
And we talked about it, Glendale's penalties. They have 8 penalties for 70 yards, and that's killing them. But now they have a 2nd and manageable as the handoff is back to Dexter Carter. He's going to fight towards the 1st down, but he's going to be a yard short, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 1.
And I don't know if you mentioned this already, but Abdullah back out there at quarterback, setting up a 3rd down and short. And it looks like they have Hodge coming out there. More of a 3rd down back. A little bit of a bruiser out there is Hodge. From shotgun, however.
And now it's going to be
loading the box is Phoenix, though.
Oh, and
it's not going to matter as Hodge is going to rumble, bumble, stumble his way forward for a 6-yard gain and a 1st down.
That's what we're talking about, gaining 4, 5, 6 yards at a time. That's what they've done the first 3 plays of this drive. Short plays, getting good yardage, and now they have another set of downs. Each time you get another set of downs, you're at least 10 yards further upfield.
And they're trying to outpace this Phoenix defense. Just keep going, no huddle. Just see if you can get this defense tired while also gaining some yards in the process. As once again, Hodge spins his way out of about 3 tackles and finds his way to about a 7-yard gain on that one.
And like you said, it might be the defense is tired, and Phoenix College is subbing some players in. They're going to bring in a new linebacker, Joseph Eubanks, to sub out for some of those tired guys. And the Gauchos, Akil Abdullah is back out there. And it's going to be Hodge again in the backfield. It's a 2nd and 3. He gets the snap, Akil does, and now he hands it off, and Hodge is going to push his way forward for a 1st down. Now they're into Phoenix Bears territory. The ball's on the 39-yard line.
Joseph Eubanks.
And like you mentioned, Joseph Eubanks getting the tackle there. The linebacker just coming in, but the 1st down ultimately going the way of Glendale. And it looks like we have an injured bear on the field.
and there's a bear that's injured, and I don't know if he's cramping. It looks like he needs water. He's sitting on his knees. He doesn't look to be in too much pain in the sense of needing to be helped off the field, but they're out there getting them water. And we've seen in college football with the up-tempo offense, we've seen guys fall to the ground,
cramps a little bit, or maybe even go down intentionally just in hopes of getting their defense a little bit of air.
And that's what I was going to say is there's been guys, Cal has been accused of it. They were really the first ones to get accused of it, of falling down just to get an injury timeout to slow their defense down, and he's jogging off the field.
Back to the sideline.
So, and it really does. It gives time for PC to sub, and it gives PC time to sub, and it gives PC time to rest for whoever they want to keep out there. And now we're at a 1st and 10, ball on the PC 39-yard line. Abdullah's going to take the snap. He's going to fake the handoff, and he screens it out. And that's a catch. Breaks a couple tackles and gets about 5 yards, and that is Sinclair Fahrenholt.
And once again, sorry for interrupting, but I just noticed loading that box. They're expecting the run at this point, so good job of just getting that quick screen pass out. And it's only about a 4-yard gain, but like I mentioned, just keep getting those short yards in and just keep getting them with consistency. As rumbling ahead is going to be Scott, only gaining about 2 on the play. That's going to set up a 3rd down.
And Scott in the Wildcat formation, he took that direct snap and went up the field, and it's a 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, manageable. Like we said, stay in manageable situations. You don't want a guy, especially your passers haven't been so great tonight, you don't want to make your guys have to go 15 yards on the field as Abdullah takes a snap, hands it off, and Scott's going to be a yard short. Let's see if they go for it. It's going to be a 4th, and it looks like a 2.
I think you almost have to go for it here. And I'm surprised Hodge isn't out there. He's been a real bruiser out there.
Well, Abdullah's looking towards the sideline, and Hodge is coming back out.
Coming out onto the field.
And because they sub, they have to give Phoenix College time to sub. And so Abdullah, at 4th and 2, they're going to go for it. Ball on their own 31-yard line.
The Gauchos, you just hand it off to Hodge. Just let him pound it right up the middle. But like I said earlier, they're in the box, and Hodge might not have gotten there, and I don't believe he did. Just about half a yard short, and that is going to be a turnover on down.
That's confidence, though. And what's tough? Yeah, okay, so you didn't score touchdowns and you turned over on downs, but you kind of learned you can drive down the field on this defense. You're getting tired. Your defense has played exceptionally well. The last 5 drives after giving up that touchdown. And so if your defense can get you another stop, get you the ball at about your own 40-yard line, you can try one more time. What hurts is those 2 blocked field goals. If you think about it, you make 2 of those, it's 14-13. If you make 1 of those, it's only a 1-possession game. I mean, it's a 1-possession game now, but you only need a touchdown to win it instead of a touchdown to tie. 9:26 left here in the 4th quarter. The Bears up 14-7. The ball is on their own 31-yard line.
Pistol formation here from the Bears, and it is play option, and the pass is completed, and gaining about 9 yards is the wide receiver, and that is the tight end. Once again, DeAndre Thompson getting a lot of receptions here, and finding himself a 9-yard gain on that one. 2nd down and short, and it looks like they're going to work out of the pistol once again.
Yeah, they're going to stay in the same formation, and Grover getting the ball out of his hands as fast as he can, and it's a good gain, and they're not asking him to throw any cannons. As here's the snap. It's a handoff to the running back, and he is met immediately.
I heard some helmet contact on that one.
It's going to be enough for a 1st down, but I don't know if it was worth it. It was 3 yards after that hit. It's going to be a 1st down nonetheless, and the Phoenix College Bears move the chain. And it's important at this point. You have 9 minutes left. Every time you get a 1st down, especially if you take 2 or 3 plays to get a 1st down, that clock keeps moving, and at some point the Gauchos have to start using their timeouts. If the Bears hold on to it for much longer, it's going to be a 1st and 10.
And they have Daniels out there, number 4. A little bit of a speed back. We've seen him working the Wildcat, and Grover is going to hand it off to him, and looking to get to the outside, but can't do so. And he's only going to gain about 4 yards on this one. But Daniels, like I mentioned, a little bit of a speed back, and maybe they're looking to outpace this GCC defense, maybe thinking they're a little bit tired, Seth.
Yeah, and the defense, I don't know how much they're tired as much as, we've seen a couple times these Phoenix College players have run away from the GCC defense. So it favors GCC when you run it up the middle and try to pound it, but if you get that ball outside, sometimes they're able to run away. As here's the second down snap, and it's a run to the right side, and he's going to drop him, maybe, yes. And he's still moving, and he's going to move forward. He actually gains a yard somehow, and it's going to be 3rd and 5.
Yeah, Donovan Daniels, he's not the smallest guy, 6 foot, 190, out of Missouri, is he? But definitely kept his legs churning there, and they did a couple of tackles and eventually ended up with about a 2-yard gain on that one.
So it's going to be 3rd down and 5, ball on the Phoenix College 48-yard line. We'll see what the Gauchos bring on 3rd down. They've been able to get a lot of 3rd down stops, and if they can get this team out here and maybe even a block punt. We talked about special teams, and it's really hurt the Gauchos tonight. Maybe they can start turning that tide around with a block punt if they can get a stop here, but they are going to need to get the stop before we get to 4th down.
Grover all by himself in the backfield, 4 wideouts. He has a quick post, and it is going to be enough for the 1st down, just a quick 6-yard gain on that post route. And it is good enough.
Yeah, and it was a nice 6-yard out route. The way it was kind of a rub route in the sense of they ran a slant towards the middle of the field, catching both defensive backs running into each other, and a quick throw, and it only gained 6, but it's enough yards for a 1st down. And like we talked about, if the Bears take 3 plays to get a 1st down, they're melting a minute or 2 off the clock each time as the handoff and drag down. And we've talked about it, Glendale Community College, they're able to stop the run. They're really struggling stopping the pass. And it's not like PC's passing the ball. Like we said, there's that 71-yard pass, but Grover really only threw the ball 15 yards, and it was a 60-yard run pretty much, as it's 2nd down and 9, 6:30 left and ticking on the Gauchos' first game of the season.
Cameron Bryce on that run, only a 1-yard gain, the man from Corona del Sol, as Grover's back to pass, and it is completed and taken down at around the 40-yard line, but that is good for a gain of about 6.
Well, Grover had a man in his face, and he throws it over the jump to knock the pass down, and because he floats it, Chavez has to wait for the ball to get to him, and if that ball's on the line, Chavez has a few more yards. Instead, he's met almost immediately, and it brings up a 3rd down and 3.
And Grover still looking to the bench for the call here. He's going to have 2 wideouts come out to his right-hand side. Got a lot of space over there on this right side. Look for something quick over here.
Yeah, Grover.
Pistol formation here from Grover. It is a handoff going to the outside. No, actually, it's play action. Wide open down the field. And it is going to be caught, and it is going to be strolled into the end zone. A nice play action there from Grover, and just getting right down the field was the wide receiver for a absolutely wide open pass.
Yeah, Chavez just slipped the Gauchos defense. Once he started on that bootleg, everybody started to move up, kind of waiting for him to pass short or run it, and over the top he goes, and that's a touchdown. And the way the Gauchos offense has been playing with 5:35 left, that might be it.
And there's a penalty marker in the end zone.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Operation number 9, question call. 55 will be assessed on the kickoff.
So an unsportsmanlike call against Chavez, and that's going to be assessed on the kickoff. So that's going to give the Gauchos some good field position when they get the ball back.
Yeah, Chavez spiked the ball once he scored the touchdown, and so they're going to be kicking off from the 20-yard line. So that'll be, like you said, good field position, but I don't know how much time there's going to be left. As soon as the placement, kick is up, and the point after is good. The score now, the Phoenix College Bears 21, your Gauchos 7. We'll be back with the final 5:35 when we're back on the Gauchos live stream network. Welcome back to Glendale Community College football here on the Gauchos live stream network. The kickoff following the PC touchdown is now Phoenix College 21, Glendale 7, and it's a squib kick. They had to kick off from the 20 after a personal foul penalty, picked up at the 35 to the 40. Here come the Gauchos at the 50. Oh, and dragged down by the face mask or horse collar. Either way, that is not. I think that's a face mask. That helmet came off.
And a lot of momentum on that, and he just got yanked down. I'm surprised he's not hurt.
Yeah, CJ's
running at almost full velocity there and just got yanked off from that face mask or horse collar.
Yeah, CJ Sanders, the sophomore tailback out of Gateway High School in Colorado, got ripped down, and I think they're going to decide whether it's a horse collar or face mask. A face mask is more yards, the personal foul penalty.
And face masks tend to be called when, someone is just running and a defender's in front of them when they're churning. But that's why the face mask rule is invented, because, when someone's going full speed and someone yanks at you at your face mask, imagine what that can do to your neck, all that torque on it, you know what I mean? That's a very dangerous play to happen.
Yeah, and it's, you might not break your neck, but it's not going to feel nice when you wake up in the morning.
Personal foul, face mask, number 26 of the kicking team. 15-yard penalty from the end of the line. First down.
And so this last scoring drive for Phoenix College before we get to the Gauchos, and they're going to place the ball at the 31-yard line, which is only 11 yards from where the Bears kicked off at their own 20.
And you've got to get something here if you're the Gauchos. You don't have to just get something. You have to get a score. And depending on the amount of time they have left when they score, if they score, you might have to go for an onside kick. I'm not sure, but finish your thoughts, Seth.
Last scoring drive, 8 plays, 69 yards, 3 minutes, 31 seconds. Grover, 4 for 4, 51 yards, and the touchdown on the drive. Now Akil Abdullah at the Phoenix College 31. He gets the shotgun snap. Looks. Quick throw. Oh, behind him. Behind the receiver. But it's caught, and all the way down to the 10-yard line is Jamon Jones, the quarterback from last year. So the quarterback and the former quarterback hooking up on that throw. And the Gauchos quickly down to the 10-yard line. If they can get a score here, there's still going to be time. 5 minutes left. They have all 3 timeouts.
Absolutely. A little bit more than 5 minutes. Just a quick slant route right there and just getting it out quickly. And all of a sudden, the Gauchos in dangerous position here to score. 3 wideouts to the left. Abdullah, quick little floater, and it is just too hard over there.
And Sterling Whitley III was open on that left side. It was a little too far for him. The Gauchos offense now stretching the field a little bit, and it's worked. The first 2 plays, that it wasn't necessarily a vertical pattern that Jones was running on that catch. It was a slant, but they spread the defense out a little bit, picked up 21 yards, and now they're at 2nd and goal at the 10-yard line.
And look who's back in at running back, Hodge, once again, and loading up the box is Phoenix. They know what Hodge can do when he gets it up the gut.
There's a snap to Abdullah. Abdullah gets away. He's at the 10. Makes a move at the 7. Gets to the 5 where he falls down. And that's going to be 3rd down and goal at the Phoenix College 5-yard line. And the Gaucho driving down 21-7. There was a horrible penalty by the receiver who caught the last touchdown. Christian Chavez of Phoenix College spiked the ball. Made his team kick it from the 20-yard line. A great return. A face mask on top of that. And the Gauchos only need to go 31 yards for a touchdown. They are 5 yards away right now. Abdullah going under center. The last 2 times he did, he fumbled the ball, and now it's Abdullah. Gets the snap, takes the handoff. No, he gives it away to Hodge, and Hodge is going to get to the 2-yard line.
Now's the real decision time for the Gauchos, as they're going to go for it here. They're going to go for it here. Still on the field is Abdullah.
They have to.
And you got to agree with his decision. You got to. It's only 4 minutes left to go, and the clock is winding down. 4 yards to go. Abdullah rolling out to the right, throwing it.
And it is caught.
It's going to be caught in the end zone.
Touchdown! Touchdown Gauchos. A 31-yard drive thanks to a couple personal foul penalties by PC, and the Gauchos 3:59. They have all 3 timeouts. They make the extra point. They are a touchdown and an extra point away from tying this game.
Now you just mentioned they have all their timeouts. So do you think they elect to, chance their defense out here? They've been doing a really good job, minus that last, blunder on that big pass. They've been doing pretty good this second half. Do you have the faith in your defense to let them go out there and get you a stoppage so you can get the ball back, or do you chance it on the onside kick right here and offer the chance of giving the Phoenix Bears some really good field positions?
Kick it deep. Your defense has played extremely well. Literally outside of 2 long plays, they have played extremely well. And your defense has shown if they get to the quarterback, if Phoenix College drops back for more than 3 or 4 seconds, that quarterbacks going down. So we'll be back here with the final 3:59 of this game. Phoenix College 21, your Gauchos 14. We'll be back. Welcome back here to Gauchos live stream. The Phoenix College Bears 21, your Gauchos 14 in the first game of the football season here. A 5-yard touchdown pass to Jared Beeman from Akil Abdullah. And here is the kickoff from the Gauchos. It is kicked deep. And now the catch there is Richard Hayward. Hayward gets to the left. He escapes the tackle, almost falls down at the 21, and he's going to be brought down. And somebody's struggling to get up after he slipped and missed the tackle. He's running off the field, though. That was Keith Brown, a safety. He missed the tackle and he slipped, and then the returner Hayward almost slipped as well. The grass isn't the greatest going down towards the end of this game, but the Gauchos have the Bears at their own 25-yard line. The Bears have struggled offensively. They had 2 big plays for their scores, and you can't say, everything but the 2 big plays, because those still count. But really, outside of that, the Gauchos defense has played well. So they need one more stop. They do have all 3 timeouts, and the Gauchos passing offense made it look like they can get the ball down the field if they needed to.
They're really going to go after the quarterback right here. They got 5 on that line. Holding run defense here, and gaining about 2 yards is going to be Donovan Daniels. Once again, the speed back, looking to just outpace this defense. And if he can keep on getting chunks of 4 and 5 yards, it might be game over for the Gauchos.
Yeah, the Gauchos now, it's 40 seconds per play clock, and every time that clock keeps moving, it's nearly a minute drained off the clock. So we'll see when the Gauchos start using their timeouts. You don't want to burn them all the way, because you might want to save 1 or 2 for the offense, but you do have to be wary of that clock. It's 2nd and 7. And Grover's waiting. He's waiting for that play clock to go down. It's at 10, now 9. Grover's literally just standing there, and now he gets ready for it at 6 seconds. Gets the snap at 4. Hands it off to the right side, and it's going to be a stop after a gain of 3 yards, maybe 4. It's going to be 4, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and 3.
And this is the biggest 3rd down of the night. And we are, in fact, going to have a timeout on the field, I believe.
It's going to be a timeout for Glendale.
And that's interesting. They're going to chance taking the timeout here, hoping that they get the stop, and taking another timeout there, I believe.
Well, Dad, and if you think about it, if you give this one up, it would have been, you'd be running the same time off as if you would have just let the clock run here. So, interesting time management, like you said. They're taking their time, and they're taking their chance. And if they get the stop here, take another timeout, or you save the timeout. You get the ball back with 2 minutes and 2 timeouts. Or you could call a timeout here, you get it back with about 2:40. And then maybe even 2:50, depending on how fast you get the ball carried down. And then, you have 2 timeouts to work with, or 1 timeout to work with 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Well, I hope you've enjoyed our inaugural football broadcast. It's the same 2 guys who brought you Gauchos baseball at the end of last season on what we can say the pilot broadcast. So I hope you're enjoying it, a radio-style broadcast, and we're definitely having fun.
And we're definitely going to be there next week in Scottsdale as the Artichokes take on our Gauchos. But for our first home game, we will be actually live broadcasting the event. As there are a couple of penalty markers on the field. Pass ball is complete to Matt Mitchell.
Penalty markers down.
But we do have penalty markers on the field.
It's offsides.
Sure what it's for.
It's offside.
It is going to be offside on the
And that hurts a lot, because your coach took that chance, and then you didn't give up that 3rd down. You gave it to them.
That is going to be a first down. And it's going to be a first down regardless, because the pass was completed.
And it's going to be R.J. Aguilar taking the offsides. Gauchos still have 2 timeouts, and there's 2:52, so it doesn't end the night, but it doesn't help.
Now they really need a big stop. They need a turnover or a very big stop right here. It is still Donovan Daniels, I believe, out there, number 4, along with Grover. 2 wideouts to his left.
I think they declined the penalty because he caught the ball for a first down. and he declined the penalty to get that clock moving. As here's the snap to Grover. He hands it off, and it's going to be a 5-yard run for the Bears.
And taking a timeout is going to be the Gauchos.
Head off number 4 with Donovan Daniels.
And if Daniels can keep once again getting those chunks of 5 yards or so, it's going to be game over for the Gauchos as we have just under 2.5 minutes left to go in this ball game.
And yeah, there was a timeout.
Timeout. Glendale, their second timeout of the half.
So we'll be back.
One remaining timeout, and like you said, when we come back, 2.5 minutes left to go in this one. Still trailing 21-14 are the Gauchos, needing a big defensive stop here.
Welcome back to the Gauchos Live Stream Network. It's 2nd and 5. Handoff to the left side, and stacked up is Donovan Daniels, and now it's 3rd down.
And here we go again with a big 3rd down.
Tackle by number 93, Trey Blackstock.
So if the Gauchos can get this stop, it's 2:15 left. You think a 40-second play clock, they'll get that ball back with about 1:45 left.
But how good has the passing game been from the Gauchos today?
It hasn't, but that last drive, you have confidence. And you know what? You got 1:45 left, so it might not have worked all game, but what's important is it works in that final 1:45. And if it does and you tie the game, all that matters is that it did work in that 1:45. You get to overtime, or maybe you go for 2 and win the game. GCC takes their final timeout. We'll be back here on the Gauchos Live Stream Network. Welcome back to Gauchos Live Stream Network. The Phoenix Bears 21, your Glendale Gauchos 14 in the first football game and the inaugural football broadcast here on Gauchos Live Stream. It's 3rd and 2 from the Phoenix College 47. The Gauchos looking to stop. And now it's going to be a quarterback draw, and they're going to stop him right before the line.
The referee.
Interesting spot, but I think he's going to. I think it's going to be right there. And the Gauchos are going to get the ball back with probably about 1:40 left. Let's see that spot. They're going to bring the chains out
short
from right here.
That's a very generous spot, in my opinion. It looks like they're just about giving him the 1st down.
Yeah, it's kind of from here. It looks like it's not, but we're also not dead on the ball right now. If we moved over to our left a little bit, we could probably see it. They're going to bring the chains out, and this is very meticulous the way they do it.
4th down and very short. Even if this isn't a 1st down, if you're Phoenix College, why not just run a quick quarterback sneak? Pretty much end the game right here. I mean, either way, you're going to get good field position is for the Glendale Gauchos. 2 minutes left exactly on the clock. And this is a very important part of the game right here as the chains come out.
Yep, 4th down.
And 4th down and very short. And right now, head coach Robin Flugrad has the decision to make.
Well, and what is bad for the Gauchos, and they actually finally did switch the play clock back. They had the play clock set at 40 seconds.
And they're going to go for it. Grover's staying out there.
You might as well, right?
Absolutely. This pretty much ends the game right here.
If you get it, this ends the game. And like we talked about, the GC offense hasn't, lit the field on fire. But if you're Glendale and you get this stop right here, you think, like we said, okay, it hasn't worked all game, but what matters is it works right now. And let's see.
It's going to be very interesting to see if they run it up the middle or they're running I formation.
And it might be a hard count, too. Got to be careful of that. There's a snap. They're going to hand it off.
Right up the middle.
No good. They got him.
Immediately stopped.
And that is a poor decision because the Gauchos could only have about a minute and a half left. Instead, they still have 1:56, and every second matters here. And let's see if that momentum swings. That GCC defense has been big all night getting stops.
Yes, but of course, if you're head coach Robin Pflugrad, you see that your defense let up a lot of offensive yards to the Glendale Gauchos in that last drive. So why wouldn't they chance it and try to win the game right there with a 1-yard rush? I agree with that decision. It's very unfortunate that it went that way. And of course, the Glendale Gauchos now have the opportunity to tie the game up here with a touchdown. As I believe, is that Abdullah or is that John Brown? That is Abdullah.
That's Abdullah. He rolls
out to his left. Oh, big pass. And that is going to be well overthrown to his intended receiver.
Well, there was double coverage back there, and he threw it to a place where if his receiver's not going to get it, nobody's going to get it. And that's a good throw. It lands in the end zone. You know, we saw right there, he can throw 50 yards. He wound up and threw it on the run, too. That's pretty impressive. And so the Gauchos at 2nd and 10, but you got to be careful. It is 4-down territory, but you don't want to burn 3 plays trying to hit the end zone when you're 48 yards out and you still have 1:48 left.
Or at least try to get out of bounds if you get a quick little out route or something. As Abdullah drops back in the pocket, rolls out to the right a little bit. Pass is caught, but I think he stayed in bounds.
No, we got pushed out, and they're going to stop. They're going to move the chains.
They're going to move the chains. I'm surprised. It looked like he might have gone out of bounds just a little bit short.
And yeah, they're telling him to move.
Move the chains.
They're telling him to move.
He's going to stop with 1:38, first down.
And I don't think they're going to wind it either because he went out. So the clock stops at least for the chains to move. And yeah, the
play clock, yes, still gone. Abdullah looking to his right, and that pass ball is incomplete.
The closest receiver was Sinclair
Fahrenhold, yes.
And he was lucky that he overthrew it, and Marcus Blunt wasn't really paying attention, and it kind of lands in front of his feet. And so they're going to get a 2nd and 10, and the Gauchos now have the ball in Phoenix College territory at their 36-yard line. Abdullah in the shotgun. Here's the snap. He looks, throws right, out route, and it is incomplete to Sinclair again. It's now 3rd down. 1 minute and 30 seconds left, like we talked about. It's got to be 2-down territory right here.
It looked like Fahrenhold once again. Had he kept running, I don't understand why he dove for the ball. Had he just kept running, he could have, on stride, just ran with the ball.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was a little bit behind that ball, but like you said, he kind of reached out for it, and if he just kind of kept his body up and took that extra stride, he would have been able to pull that in, or at least had a better chance. Here's Abdullah. He drops back. He looks to the right. It's caught and pushed out of bounds, and it's going to be a little manageable than 10 yards, but you have to have a first down here, and it's Beeman with the catch. It's 4th down and 7. So let's see if the Gauchos, they gotta run their routes to the sticks, right?
They gotta throw something to that first down marker.
And you can see those linebackers and the safeties staying right in front of that first down.
Accuracy isn't going to do them any good right here as it's thrown.
Falling down and intercepted.
And taken across, down at around the 37-yard line, and that is just about going to do it.
Yeah, and he tried to throw to the right to Fahrenhold, and Fahrenhold falls down, and if he doesn't fall down, he's the first receiver he's the first person to that ball, so he would have caught it, but because he slips and falls, that's going to be effectively the end of the game.
And I credited him with an interception earlier on, but it is, in fact, this time, number 1, Isaiah Butler on the INT. And so 2 interceptions from this Phoenix defense, and that is just about going to finish it. 1:15 left on the clock, and at this point, it's just about running the clock down. No timeouts for Glendale, so they can just watch them knee a couple times.
Yeah, and it's tough. You're trying to throw the ball downfield, and it was the right play call. It was a curl route, and it was the right throw, but unfortunately he fell down and got intercepted, and it's going to do it. The Gauchos don't have any time, and the Bears are going to have to hike that ball. They almost didn't have any time on the play clock.
And finally getting it down. Everything seemed to be going okay on that 2-minute drill until the final episode. INT taken out to about the 35-yard line. A minute winding down, and as the time winds down, we just would like to remind you that next week we are going to be in Scottsdale for the Scottsdale Artichokes as they take on the Glendale Gauchos in Scottsdale. And tell them what we're going to be doing for home game set.
For home games, there's going to be a live stream with video. I know a lot of you were kind of wondering about the video. This is a radio-style broadcast. We will have video at GCC live stream. We're still debating whether we're going to have a radio broadcast as well. I don't think we will, but we'll have that figured out by the first home game. But we definitely will be going radio-style broadcasts on the road at Scottsdale next week. Kickoff is scheduled for 7 p.m. Grover's going to take the final kneel down. The final 20 seconds are going to be around the clock here. The handshakes are starting. Fortunately for the Gauchos, they're going to start the season 0-1. When we come back here at Phoenix College, we'll wrap it up before we head to our post-game show. The final score of this game, the Phoenix College Bears 21, your Glendale Gauchos 14. Thank you for joining us, and come back for the wrap-up show.
like this,
Yeah.
so we can all talk.
Welcome back, everybody, to Gaucho's live stream. Seth Askelson, Adrian Palaio, also statistician spotter Andrew Bell, and writer. Look out for his piece right after he gets it written up. It's TJ Mathewson. Unfortunately, the Gauchos fall 21-14. Also, unfortunately, they cut the lights on us here in the press box, but we still have enough power to bring you the post-game show. And Adrian, we'll start with you. What did you see out of the Gauchos?
I saw a lot of promise. I think Abdullah did a really good job today. Had a little bit of a mishap with those 2 fumbles, but eventually towards the latter end of that game was able to get a touchdown, do some really good job on the run. We talked about it earlier on. Didn't do very much as far as getting out of the pocket and running last year. He was able to get a couple of good runs in today. And as far as John Brown goes, the same for him. I didn't really see much as far as passing goes for him, but he was able to run the ball pretty well. And at the end of the day, they can hold their heads up high and go into Scottsdale knowing that they have some things to work on. But there are definitely some things to look at and be positive about, especially their defense. Their defense looked stout, and the run defense especially looked very good. The pass defense needs a little bit of work, especially when it comes to reading those screens and biting on them a lot like they did today. They got caught with that too many times today, and that's where they got those 2 touchdowns from.
Yeah, exactly. And the deep passes really killed them. Like you said, reading the type of pass. TJ, you got down to the field to interview Coach Bell. What was he able to tell you?
Well, Coach Bell, the big takeaway from this game that he said, it's just a mental game. Besides those mental mistakes on defense with the blown coverages, he said the defense played great besides that. It's just truly a mental game. And kicking-wise, it's just the blocking scheme. People not picking up their assignments, doing what they're supposed to do, and that ultimately, if those 2 kicks would have probably gone through, we're looking at a 1-point game, and they would have had a chance to set up for that go-ahead field goal, driving down there instead of throwing that pick. So overall, he just a little frustrated with the outcome tonight. His team just not being able to not being able to quite finish what they're doing, even though with the opportunity. But he says they do have a great team.
It's hard to predict the pass, but you think if they do make those 2 field goals, maybe the play calling's a little different on that final drive?
Maybe a little more conservative, not needing to take a shot down the field. You saw throwing their interception there with under 2 minutes left, which allowed the Bears to just kneel and run out the clock. You could just go to a lot more runs, keep it safe, not fumble, and center the ball and get a good field goal opportunity up. Possibly win this game, come out here 1-0 instead of 0-1.
Andrew, statistician, you were able to watch the game the entire night. What did you see?
I think you look at 3 phases of the ball tonight. I think one of them played well, and that's the defensive unit. They were fantastic, and they were on the field a lot tonight because that offense was a little stagnant. Play calling was a little conservative at times, and I think that offense was really stagnant. So the defense was on the field a lot because they had a lot of 3-and-outs on offense, so that caused them to come back out. I think they did a fantastic job, but I think when you look at special teams and the offense, those are the 2 things that are going to have to improve going forward. And it's a long season. They have 2 quarterbacks right now, the 2-quarterback system. We'll see if that plays out throughout the entire year. But as of right now, I think just improving the offense and the special teams. And despite all of that, at the end of the game, your team's still going down to try and score a touchdown, tie the game. Despite the stagnant offense and the special teams miscues, they still have a chance to tie the game late in the ball game, and I think that's something to look forward to, and I think that's something to work on moving forward. But other than that, it's the first game of the season, get the jitters out, and I'm sure they'll come back ready to prepare and ready to play next week against Scottsdale.
Final stats, if we said it was very ugly offensively for both teams. Phoenix College, they had 222 yards total, 65 rushing, 157 passing. Grover, the freshman quarterback for Phoenix College, 157 yards, 3 touchdowns on 15 of 32 completions to attempts. Over on Glendale's side, the 2-quarterback system, Akil Abdullah, 9 for 14, 43 yards. And then we had John Brown, 8 for 12, 50 yards. Passing-wise, 120 yards total for the Gauchos, 103 yards rushing for a total of 223. Any final thoughts, guys? Like we said, we're going to Scottsdale next week. It'll be here on the YouTube channel. Kickoff scheduled for 7 p.m. Not exactly sure of an on-air time. Maybe we'll get in a half hour, 15 minutes before the game. But let's get our final thoughts before we head out of here at PC. We'll start with Adrian.
My final thoughts for this game, I think it was the first game of the season. There's always going to be some pre-game jitters. First game of the season, always going to be a little bit of an exciting one. There's some nerves that need to be rattled, especially going into this next game. The kicker's going to have to collect his nerve, having 2 kicks blocked today. But all in all, it's a a job that they can be proud of today, even considering the results, and they can go into Scottsdale knowing what they need to work on. And also, we just learned that Mayweather won via TKO, so that's another thing to talk about. But that was a little bit of an expected result, but that's another thing that we just learned right now. So,
all right, TJ.
Well, you can't really tell what you need to like. All these guys have been working all spring, all summer, trying to get ready for the start of the season, and really, you don't know what you need to work on in games until you actually play the game. You got to get the first game out of the way, find out what you're struggling at, what you're good at, and right now, it seems that they're really struggling on the offensive side. They're struggling with the blocking on kicks. A couple things to work on in practice this next week. Come out a better product against Scottsdale, and hopefully a better result for the Gauchos.
Andrew.
And I think one last thing to mention, besides the miscues on special teams and the offense side of the ball, Glendale tonight, 9 penalties resulted in 75 yards. I think that hurt them in the ball game as well. But I think moving forward in practice, just wipe it. It's a tough game. It's a tough opener, and they didn't come out on top. But I think you got to just wipe it, get better in practice during the week, and get ready for Scottsdale next weekend. And just one last thing, a very special thank you to everyone who tuned in with us tonight. I know during the Mayweather-McGregor fight, anyone who is listening to Glendale and Phoenix City College here for football, you guys are real fans, and thank you so much for tuning in and checking in with us tonight on the broadcast.
Yeah, and Andrew's right about that. It's, like we've talked about, it's the first time we're doing this, and it's definitely an experiment. I know it's a little tough with no video, but you got 4 college kids here who are starting up, and even if we put our own money together, we might not have a camera. So I hope you enjoyed the radio live stream. Like we said, for the Gauchos, it's about erasing mental mistakes and just kind of wiping this one away. So we'll see what they come back with. Don't forget to follow Gauchos live stream on Facebook at Gauchos live stream, obviously. Follow Gauchos live stream on Twitter at Live Gaucho. You can find all the stories, all the written stories there, tweets, breaking news, links to the streams, etc. Anything else, guys?
Last thing, if you're interested in Glendale volleyball as well, the women's volleyball team, they have a game this coming Wednesday, and we'll be on the call for that one as well. So make sure to tune in Wednesday night, Glendale volleyball. We'll be on the radio here on the Gauchos live stream, but tune in for that one.
That's right. Andrew's got that correct as they take on Pima Community College. Easy for me to say as the night runs away from me. So for Adrian Palaio, TJ Mathewson, Andrew Bell, I'm Seth Askelson. Thank you for joining us. We can't wait to have you back on Wednesday for GCC volleyball and Saturday at Scottsdale for GCC football.
Artichokes, they're fighting against a vegetable. Let's go. We'll see you next week.
Thank you. Have a great night.